in the Georgetown game basically won that game on the hustle plays that he made. Some of our guys, Layden Blacker, some of these guys are veterans on this team. NJ Benson, Layden Blacker, those guys are going to big games. But, we're going to hopefully first of all, we're going to need a great defensive effort, and then hopefully somebody else steps up that we're not counting on and does some good things today.
Blue Demons have not beaten a top 25 team since January 18th, 2023. A 73-72 victory over 8th-ranked Xavier at the time. They've never beaten a top 25 team since Chris Holtman became head coach. He's now in year 2 of trying to get the Blue Demons back on track. Meantime, UConn has had its way, not just with DePaul, but with a whole bunch of teams, especially in Big East play, but specifically DePaul when it comes to this. It's game number 24 in the series. UConn leads it 22 to I should say game number 25, and UConn leads it 22 to including 21 straight wins. On December 21st, the Huskies beat the Demons 72-54 at Wintrust Arena. But the reason I bring that up, Dave, is because it was a 3-point game at halftime that day at Wintrust Arena. So the Demons clearly did something right in that first half. How are you able to extend it for close to 40 minutes?
Well, the problem is, UConn is known as a team that wears you down and over a 40-minute course of the game. But you look at their stats. I look at their stats. Look at the Providence game. They had 4 guys. Every starter but Solo Ball, who's the leading scorer on the team, 3rd leading scorer in the Big East. Every starter on that team in that Providence overtime win, 103-98. Has scored over 20 points in that game. So 4 players with over 20 points in that game. You talk about 2 different games, opposite on the ends of the spectrum. DePaul does something that hasn't happened since 1986, holding their opponent to only 1 field. Amazing performance by the Blue Demons in that game in the win over Georgetown defensively. Then you look at this UConn team, such an explosive team. They lead in Big East play. They lead in 11 individual categories, team categories. That's how the way they dominate this league. They lead in 11 categories. Individual players are tremendous, but the depth of this team, was severely to 3 points off the bench in that Providence game, 103 points scored. We gave up 50 in the win over Georgetown, 15 second half points, played a great second half. This UConn team plays hard for 40 minutes, but the depth is, I would say, a little bit questionable. If we come out and compete the way we did in the first half of that game, I think maybe at some point maybe we'll get, like I said, we'll get some guys off the bench for us to come up with some plays, and maybe at the end of the game we'll be there and have a chance to win it.
Demons last won 3 consecutive Big East games back in 2022 when they knocked off Georgetown, St. John's, and Marquette in succession. A few moments ago, I had a chance to talk to Blue Demons head coach Chris Holtman, and we discussed the challenge in store for DePaul today.
It sure is. It's a good one. It's a fun one. Listen, they're an outstanding team. Second year back in the league after being obviously at Butler and being in the league. It's certainly one of the best teams that we've seen, had a chance to compete against those Villanova national championship teams. I believe this UConn team can get there. We played an exceptionally well, pretty clean first half of our game just a few weeks ago at Wintrust. In the second half they pulled away, cut it to 10 late, and they pulled away. But we've got to do some things better. We've got to play better now that we're on their home floor, and we have played better. We've improved since then. They've won 11 in a row, but they are vulnerable. We talked about that first half at Wintrust earlier this season. Last time out on the road at Providence, they had a skin from the Friars, needed overtime to win. Where is UConn vulnerable? I think our defense was able to turn them over some, our pressure defense, and able to allow that to generate some offense for us. What makes them different this year is they really are good on both ends, offensively and defensively. They weren't as good defensively last year. That's why they had a little bit of a ceiling for their team. But they rebound the ball well, but they can be susceptible at times to turning it over, and that's what we're able to do at our place. We're coming off back-to-back really solid defensive efforts and getting victories over Xavier and Georgetown. How do you get the offense going? Usually we talk defense, but how do you get the offense going? Well, the Xavier game, we were really good offensively. It was one of our better offensive games of the year, and we were good for the first half of the Georgetown game. We really struggled in the second half. It goes back to those things we talked about. We've got to be able to generate more open threes for our guys. We've got to be able to shoot a few more. We've got to be able to make our free throws. We've got to turn the ball over less. And we've got to be able to generate some extra possessions offensively. But we really did that at Xavier at home. It's been inconsistent this year. Some of that's a byproduct of who we play, but there's some things in our control we can do better. What are those things? Well, just better point reads, take care of the ball better, create some more offensive rebounds for us to create some extra possessions, attack in transition. And then we have to consistently, for us to be able to compete at a high level in this league, to win games, any game in this league, we have to be able to defend like our team is capable of defending for 40 minutes and rebound the ball. Those are the keys. This is obviously going to be a raucous atmosphere here in Hartford. This is the number 14 in the country, a team that's thinking about a national championship. You have to talk to your team about belief. We have. You know what I think's helped with that? You go on the road, you play Villanova well. You're there with 5 minutes to go. We've had some really good stretches of play. We won at Wichita State. We obviously won our last two. We have to obviously play our best game this year. But we don't need to play perfect, but we need to play at a really, really high level. I do think our guys understand that we're capable of playing really well in stretches. Our margin for error in games like this is very small. We've got to be highly detailed. But we have talked about just don't hop on the bus if you don't believe we can compete and put ourselves in position. Cruz McClure's missed the last couple of games with a concussion. Is he back to me? He will be back. Yes, he will be back. And it kind of hurt him missing some practice, but it's good to see that he's healthy. Most importantly, his head's healthy. It wasn't a serious fall or anything like that. So it's good to see him back. I know he's anxious to play. Good luck. Okay. Thanks, Zach. Thank you.
That's DePaul head coach Chris Holtman. So some reinforcements on the way today for the Blue Demons, Dave, as the freshman Cruz McClure is back after missing the last couple of games, recovering from a concussion. 10 points in the first meeting for McClure against UCONN.
As we're having the flow, they're healthy, the better it is for us. Cruz made some great games and critical for a freshman. Sometimes he's out there at the end of the games handling the ball. So when he's on playing right, he's been inconsistent as a freshman. But when he's playing right, playing with confidence, he can be a difference maker in this game.
Let's get to the starting lineups. Chris Holtman's Blue Demons, a record of 10-6, 2-3 in Big East Conference play. A three-man backcourt for the Blue Demons. Layden Blacker is the point guard, 6'2", junior transfer from Arkansas in his second year with DePaul. He's averaging nearly 11.5 points per game and almost 4 assists per contest. He's joined in the backcourt by C.J. Gunn, 6'7", senior from Indianapolis, a transfer from Indiana in his second season with DePaul. He's the Demons' leading scorer, averaging nearly 14 points per game, but he's coming off a tough one last time out against Georgetown. Just 3 points. He went 1 of 9 from the field. R.J. Smith is the third man in the backcourt, a transfer from Colorado in his first season with DePaul. 6'3", 195 pounds, a redshirt junior from Chino, California, who is averaging more than 8 points per game and 3 rebounds per contest. Up front for DePaul, Caleb Banks, 6'8", senior transfer from Tulane. He averages 8 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per contest. And rounding out the first 5 for the Blue Demons is N.J. Benson, the 6'8" senior from Mount Vernon, Illinois, transfer from Missouri State in his second year with the Blue Demons. He's coming off a 9.16 rebound performance against the Hoyas last time out. Averages 11 points per game and more than 7 rebounds per contest. For Dan Hurley's fourth-ranked UConn Huskies, a record of 15-1, 5-0 in Big East Conference play, including an overtime victory over Providence on the road last time out. Three-man backcourt for the Huskies. Solo ball, 6'4" junior from Leesburg, Virginia. Did not play last month at Wintrust Arena against the Blue Demons, but he's the leading scorer on this UConn squad. Averages more than 15 points per game. He's joined in the backcourt by Silas Demery Jr., 6'4" junior transfer from Georgia, who's coming off a whale of a game last time out against the Friars on Wednesday. 23 points and a career-high 15 assists. The third man in the backcourt is one of the best freshmen in the country, Braylon Mullins, 6'6", 200-pound guard out of Greenfield, Indiana. Had 8 points in the first meeting against the Blue Demons, but he's coming off his best game as a collegian, 24 points last time out at Providence. Up front for UConn, some major weapons. Terrace Reed Jr., 6'11", senior transfer from Michigan, who's coming off a 20.8 rebound performance at Providence. He averages 14.5 points per game, nearly 8 rebounds per contest, and had 14 and 11 at DePaul last month. Rounding out the first five for UConn, Alex Caravan, 6'8" redshirt senior from Southborough, Massachusetts. Preseason All Big East first team, averages 14 points per game, 5+ rebounds per contest at 21 points last month at Wintrust. Blue Demons come out wearing the alternate black uniforms with the white numerals and lettering, red and blue horizontal stripes on the sides of the jerseys and the shorts. UConn, traditional home white uniforms with navy blue lettering and numerals. The officials, Jeff Clark, Tim Clougherty, and Nathan Farrell. N.J. Benson will jump tip for DePaul. Terrace Reed Jr. will do the honors for UConn. Nathan Farrell at midcourt, standing on the big Husky logo, and the official tosses the ball up in the air, and the tap is controlled by UConn, moving from right to left from our vantage point, high above People's Bank Arena here in Hartford, Connecticut. The 24th all-time meeting between the Blue Demons and the Huskies, and we've got a backcourt violation.
I was wondering why that wasn't called. They lost control of the ball. UConn was their first possession there. They had it half court, so swinging the ball just bounced over the half court line. I wondered why they didn't call back court. They did.
Silas Demery Jr. committed the backcourt violation. So the Blue Demons have the basketball, moving from left to right from our vantage point. At the top of the key, it's Layden Blocker. Now off to the right, R.J. Smith at the free throw line. Gun alley-oop, and the ball is off the fingertips of N.J. Benson. It gets knocked out of bounds right under the basket. It'll be UConn ball.
C.J. Gunn, I think, made up his mind there as he was coming off that screen that they were going to look for Benson on the roll. I don't know that it was open.
30 seconds gone by here in Hartford. DePaul and UConn scoreless. Huskies with the basketball at the top of the key. Demery checked by R.J. Smith. Demery drives left, bounce pass left of the lane. It's a reverse layup, banking it in. Terrace Reed Jr. and UConn strikes first, a 2-0 lead over DePaul. Nearly a minute gone by.
Demery averages almost 9 assists per game, 8.8 assists per game.
And we've got an illegal screen on Caleb Banks at the high point. And that's a turnover on the Blue Demons, so UConn gets the ball back. 2-0 Huskies here in the opening minute.
You can make that call a lot. That's a turnover, just like throwing the ball out of bounds. You've got to fundamentally play correct basketball.
UConn basketball. Mullins has it off to the left, feeds Demery behind the arc of the left wing. Head of the key. Caravan whips a pass right of the lane, mid-post. It's Reed working on Benson. Turns baseline, diagonal pass off to the left. Mullins puts it on the floor. Hangs in the air. Wild flow to the right hand, goes down.
A little right hand, half jump hook, half jump shot, and he made it.
UConn 4, DePaul 0. Nearly a minute and a half gone by. Demons looking for their third straight win. Blocker at the head of the key. Whips a pass now left side for Smith, wearing a black headband with the alternate black uniform today. Off to the right, Blocker in three-point range. Swiping at the ball, Demery. Blocker puts it on the floor. Now he's at the top of the key. Gets a Benson screen. He'll loft a three and knock it down from way out right of the circle. Demons on the board. It's a 1-point game. UConn 4, DePaul 3. Nearly 2 minutes gone by. Huskies work the ball around the perimeter. Solo ball has it off to the right. Now it's Caravan, head of the key, working on Gunn. Hands off to Demery, right of the circle. Demery with a left-handed dribble. He's checked by Gunn as the Demons switch. Reed, head of the key. Benson on him. Reed swings the ball around, now drives behind the back with the dribble, straight down the lane. Underhand toss to Caravan, and a righty layup is good.
That was a cute little play there behind his back from the free throw. Then a little scoop pass over for the layup to Caravan. Great play.
UConn 6, DePaul 3. Nearly 2.5 minutes gone by. Demons with the basketball. Head of the key, it's the big man Benson. Hands off to Smith. Top of the circle. Drives to the free throw line. Floater with the right hand. Shot blocked by Mullins. UConn comes up with a loose ball, and the Demons with a foul.
Gunn picks up that foul. Not a smart foul. Again, they had possession of the ball. They had to get back on defense. He tried to reach in, and that will be a problem later if he gets himself in. Those are the kind of fouls that it's only his first foul of the game, but you know, as he gets that third or fourth foul, that foul matters.
2.5 minutes gone by. UConn 6, DePaul 3. Huskies with the ball. Head of the circle, Demery. The point man holds it over his head now. Plays catch with Reed off to the right. Back to Demery behind the arc. Demery with a left-handed dribble. At the free throw line, it's Ball. A bounce pass, high post left of the lane. Reed spins inside. Layup, too strong. And the rebound taken down by Banks into the hands of Blocker, and the Demons will bring it up. Left to right across the line, down the left sideline. It's Blocker. Uses a screen from Smith. Turns the corner, and he's bumped. A foul called on the Huskies.
So the ball picks up that foul. Good job. Leighton Blocker penetrating off the screen. Baseline drive, solo ball trying to cut him off. Picks up the foul.
3 minutes gone by here in Hartford. UConn 6, DePaul 3. 22 to shoot when the Demons put it in play. First, though, a substitution. Brandon Macklin enters the game for the first time. Caleb Banks sits. So, Dave, the Demons have a four-man backcourt. Benson, the only big man in there. Blocker has it left of the circle for DePaul. Off a curl, left corner, Gunn fakes a three, drives, hop step, fall away two, rims out, left of the lane. Rebound, Caravan for UConn, and the Huskies on the move. Across the line, Demery gives to Caravan, left of the circle, right wing behind the arc, Demery. Inside Reed, right of the lane, the double team comes from Smith. Kick out now off to the left, Mullins for three, It's good, and the foul.
What ball movement. Great job, they had Reed inside. Find the open player, it's an extra pass, and the freshman knocks it down. Mullins and picks up the foul. So chance for a 4-point play right now. UConn up 9-3.
With 16:29 to go here in the first, we mentioned Mullins, a very different player now than when we saw him earlier this season. Bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and knocks home the free throw. So UConn extends the lead 10-3 over DePaul. 16:28 to go in the first. Mullins coming off a 24-point performance at Providence on Wednesday. Missed the beginning of the year with a back injury. He's a McDonald's All-American. Demons basketball. Blocker drives right. Up fake layup. Blocked. Foul called. And Blocker will go to the line and shoot two.
And Caravan picks up that foul again. Penetration dribble by Leighton Blocker. He's had a good game so far. Knocked down the three early. Picked up a couple fouls on the Huskies on dribble drive penetration. So he's been effective. He's going to go to the free throw line here with a chance for two.
Blocker, an excellent free throw shooter, 81% this season. Here comes the first. It's good. UConn 10, DePaul 4. That ends a 2+ minute scoring drought for the Blue Demons. One more free throw for Leighton Blocker, wearing glasses with black rims. Gray shoes to go along with the alternate black uniforms. Here's the second free throw, and that's good again. 10-5 the score. UConn with the lead. Nearly 4 minutes gone by. Some full court pressure by the Blue Demons. And UConn beats it. Demery across the line, down the right sideline with a left-handed dribble. Demery between the legs with the dribble, working on Gunn. Head of the key, the big man Reed holds the ball by his right hip. Couple of dribbles to his right. Still keeping the dribble. Now he'll back in Benson, right of the lane, turns baseline, up fake, layup, no good, too strong. The rebound, Benson.
Oh, he got everything but made the shot. He had an easy penetration there. He got right by the bucket.
Demons ball, head of the key, Smith, off to the left. It's Macklin, hand in the face from Reed. Crossover dribble, nothing doing. Now Blocker for three, short from the left corner. Mullins the rebound for UConn, and the Huskies on the move. Mullins across the line, left-handed dribble, head of the key, working on Macklin. Mullins dribbles to the right, uses a Reed screen, spins to the top of the key. Left wing behind the arc ball. Head of the circle, it's the big man Reed. Hands off now to Demery, right of the circle, puts it on the floor, drives, Scoop layup, short rebound, taken down by Benson.
They've caught a couple breaks here. They've missed some point-blank layups.
Demons quickly into the front court. Gunn off to the left in three-point territory. Holds the ball over his head. Left corner now, it's Macklin. He'll dribble up high, uses a Benson screen, rolls to the corner, now roams baseline, hangs in the air, wild layup, no good. Rebound Reed into the hands of Caravan. Outlet Mullins across the line, off to the right, deep three on the way. That's no good. Short rebound, Macklin for the Blue Demons.
Got lucky there, a wide open look at it. He's been hot.
14:40 remaining, first half. UConn 10, DePaul 5. Demons with the basketball. Off to the right, Layden Blocker. Calls out a set play with a left hand, yo-yos with the right. Waits for a screen from Smith. Now gives the ball to Smith, head of the key. Benson has it, left of the lane, working on Reed. Roams baseline, whirls inside the paint. Layup, no, but a foul's been called. Was it before the shot? I believe it was.
I love it, though. I love those two big guys going at it.
Official timeout. We'll keep it here. 14:25 remaining in the first half. It's UConn 10, DePaul 5. Demons have been without a field goal for nearly 4 straight minutes. UConn without a point for the last 2+ minutes of this basketball game. So happy to have you with us this early morning back home in Chicago. Alongside DePaul great Dave Corzine, Zach Zabin with you high atop the court here at People's Bank Arena in Hartford, Connecticut. Our engineer is Tim Helmecki, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. It's always fun to see Tim every time we come out here to New England, whether it's here in Hartford, on campus at stores. We see him at Providence, too.
He's everywhere.
Play the Friars, and yeah, he is definitely everywhere, and he helps us be heard everywhere. That's really more important than him being everywhere, is that he extends us to the rest of the world. 10-5 the score. UConn on top of the ball. 14:25 remaining here in half number 1. Dave, it's time for the Pepsi Who's Hot segment, and you've tweaked the segment.
Yeah, we've reestablished it. We've improved it. I like to try to make things better and better. That's how I am. But we talked about who's hot and who's the player. We switched it up to make it if you've. I'm looking at who's going to be hot tonight and make the difference for us tonight. I would like to go with the freshman, but as Coach talked about,
Cruz
McClure. I'd like to go with him, but as Coach talked about, he's been sitting out a little bit. He says he's a little rusty because of the practice. I'm going to go with R.J. Smith tonight. I think R.J. Smith is kind of a quiet guy. You don't really talk much about him or hear much about him. He's moved into the starting lineup. He's done some nice things for us. He's shooting 38% from the free throw from behind the three-point line, 42% in conference, averaging 10 points a game in conference play. So R.J. Smith's going to be the guy who's going to step up for us tonight.
I like it. So R.J. Smith is the man that we're circling today, not tonight.
I know we got to be careful when we're.
Yeah, there's a big game tonight in Chicago. It has nothing to do with DePaul. It's Bears-Packers. We'll get your pick a little bit later on. Pepsi Zero Sugar. It's bold, refreshing, and made for moments like this because game day deserves Pepsi. By the way, I don't know if you're keeping score, but it's been 14 years, 11 months, and 25 days since the Bears last won a playoff game. It occurred January 16th of 2011 in the divisional round against the Seattle Seahawks. That win propelled the Bears into the NFC Championship game against the Packers. Green Bay won that game. Remember, Jay Cutler got hurt. Caleb Haney tried a furious rally late, but Green Bay held on, and the Packers rolled all the way to the Super Bowl, and that's the only championship that Green Bay won with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. So now they meet again at Soldier Field in the wild card round tonight, and apparently weather could be an issue this evening, but that's a story for another time.
Both of those teams are used to playing in weather. Weather's not going to bother those guys, but I got to be on record as I'm a Packer fan. They had a tough loss there in the last game against the Bears, but we're going to make up for it tonight.
Interesting. All right. Brandon Macklin will trigger in for the Blue Demons. Front court baseline. Alley-oop catch and a finger roll layup for MJ Benson, rolling in straight down the middle of the lane. 10-7 the score. UConn on top of DePaul. Nearly 6 minutes gone by here in the opening half in Hartford. UConn works the ball around the perimeter. Ball has it off the left and has the ball yanked away. Stolen by Macklin into the hands of Smith. Left to right across the line. Now Macklin off to the left in three-point territory. Uses a Benson screen. Drives. Kick out. Right circle. 3 Smith. That's short. Rebound out to Blocker. Back to Smith. Head of the key. And now the Demons will reset. Benson has it off to the left in three-point territory. Hands off to Macklin, off to the left. He drives, baseline, angle cut off. They kick it out to C.J. Gunn, left wing behind the arc. Reversing it now right side. Blocker, step back three is no good. Rebound taken down by Eric Ribas, 7'1" freshman from Germany. Into the front court, Mullins driving left, righty layup, too strong.
Another layup missed by UConn.
Demons with a rebound. Here's Macklin across the line, left to right, straight away. Uses a Benson screen between the legs with the dribble. Now he accelerates left. Kick out Benson. Floater with the right hand, short, just inside the free throw line. And Macklin grabbed the rebound, but one of his feet was along the end line, out of bounds, so it'll be UConn ball.
Good hustle by Brandon Macklin. They had a nice pass over to Benson, but just missed. That's a tough shot. He tried one of those little floaters over the 7-foot defender, and that's a tough shot to make.
All right, so Cruz McClure now out there for the Blue Demons after missing the last couple of games, recovering from a concussion. UConn 10, DePaul 7, approaching 13 minutes remaining here in the first half. UConn with the basketball. Malachi Smith has it off to the right in three-point range with a left-handed dribble. Now he's between the rings. Spins right, uses a screen from Caravan and has the ball pickpocketed, stolen by McClure. An immediate impact. Here's Smith across the line. Kick out to McClure at the free throw line. Right side Smith, a three on the way. That is no good. It was short, and the rebound goes to UConn. Malachi Smith brings it up across the line. A diagonal spin to the middle. Driving right, hangs in the air. Scoop layup, banks it home, and the foul.
Yeah, big play. UConn turning around. We had a chance to get a bucket on the other side and a good look at the basket. UConn comes down on kind of a secondary transition there. Off the screen, goes to the bucket. Going to have a chance here to get a three-point play.
Smith, a 6'1" redshirt senior transfer from Dayton, native of New York City. So he's at the line to try and complete the three-point play. It's a 12-7 lead for UConn with 12:36 to go here in the first, as Smith hits the free throw and makes it 13-7. Huskies over the Blue Demons here in the first half. 12.5 minutes to go. R.J. Smith left to right across the line straight away. Feeds the big man Fabian Flores at the head of the circle. Now McClure has it right wing. Stops the dribble. Off a curl left of the circle, it's Macklin, holds the ball by his right hip, puts it on the floor, accelerates to the hole, layup, no, but he got fouled on the play by Jalen Stewart, and Brandon Macklin will go to the line and shoot two for DePaul.
Brandon Macklin is playing with a lot of confidence right now. He's been very aggressive. He came up with the steal earlier there in the game, and then this time again, he drives to the basket so hard, creates the contact, and then he's able to follow through and get it to go down or else pick up the foul, but very aggressive, strong player.
Macklin puts up the first free throw and knocks it down, so that ends the scoring drought of 2+ minutes for DePaul. The score is 13-8 UConn, 12:16 to go before the end of the first half. Demons are struggling from the field, just 2 of 10 from the floor. UConn 5 of 10.
Demons trying to get out. They only had 56 points in that win against Georgetown, so they've got to untrack the offense.
Macklin knocks down the second free throw. He'll sub out. Back in the game, C.J. Gunn. UConn 13, DePaul 9, approaching 12 minutes to go in the first half. Malachi Smith being greeted by full court pressure. Beats it into the front court. Jalen Stewart off to the right. They work it around the perimeter. Back to Smith, right wing. Now Caravan has it along the far sideline. Jaden Ross head of the key. Check by McClure. A lot of ball movement off a curl. Smith driving straight down the lane. Scoop layup high off the glass. No good. Hit the back of the rim a couple of times. Wouldn't drop in. Demons come up with the board. Here's Gunn across the line off to the right. Gunn stops the dribble. Now feeds Smith along the near sideline. Chris Holtman screaming out instructions, standing almost right at the midcourt stripe. 15 to shoot for DePaul. Smith off to the right, between the legs with the dribble. Gives to McClure ahead of the key. 10 to shoot for DePaul. McClure feeds Gunn. Left wing three is no good. Too strong, but we've got a loose ball foul. Who's it on?
Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks ended up with the ball in his hands on the whistle. Bounced it off the floor about 30 feet into the air and didn't pick up a technical, so we got a break there.
All right, so there's an official timeout and a sigh of relief along the DePaul bench. 11:22 remaining here in the first half. It's UConn 13 and DePaul 9. And Dave, the Blue Demons have been able to hang around despite shooting 2 of 11 from the field.
Have we talked about that? Have we seen that anywhere before? The Georgetown game, the Demons rely on their defense. We're 11:21 left to go in the first half here. We're approaching halfway through the half. We've held UConn to 13 points. Remember, they're coming off a 103-point game against Providence. They lead so many categories in the Big East on the offensive side of the ball that defense has kept us in it just like it has throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, Demons have gone without a field goal for the last 3+ minutes of game action. Hey, Blue Demon fans, when it's game day, make Pepsi Zero Sugar your drink of choice. It's bold, refreshing, and made for moments like this because game day deserves Pepsi. Proud partner of DePaul Athletics. I had my Pepsi Zero Sugar just before tip-off. You know, you needed the extra jolt of energy with the early start on this Saturday, but I don't mind because I want to get back to something you were talking about. So you grew up in Chicagoland, Arlington Heights. You go to Hersey High School, right? Have a storied career there. Play your college basketball at DePaul, and yet professional basketball with the Bulls. And I'm not sure people realize, you said it briefly right before the start of play, and I'm circling back. You grew up a Packers fan.
I was waiting to see where this went. I knew there had to be a point to the story at some point. I finally get to all that just to call me a Packer fan.
I mean, what's going on here?
I grew up in the 60s. The Packers were good in the 60s, and if nothing else, I'm loyal. The Bears aren't good that often. The Packers are. Why switch?
Yeah, it's been very rare.
I can't be a fair weather fan now and all of a sudden be a Bears fan for this game.
I will say this. It's been rare throughout the history of the Bears and Packers, as storied as the rivalry is. It's been rare that both teams have been good at the same time. That's why tonight's meeting is only the 3rd time in the history of the two teams that they've met in the playoffs against one another. So it's going to be a fun night, and that's why I'm happy that
What'd you hear about Love? Is he for sure playing?
Love is definitely playing, and he's 4-2 in his career against the Bears. The 2 losses he was unable to finish because of injury, so that's something to keep in mind. And Caleb Williams is 2-2 in his career against the Packers. Fun. So there you go with a little bit of history. Meantime, Blue Demons are trying to erase some history. This is game number 24 in the all-time series against UConn. Huskies lead at 22-1, including 21 straight wins. On December 21st, UConn beat DePaul 72-54 at Wintrust Arena. The first meeting between the two took place in the 2004 NCAA tournament in Buffalo, a 72-55 UConn win. It's the last time the Blue Demons have played in the tournament, and DePaul's only win in this series, 2007 in Rosemont. 68-58, the DePaul victory. Draylon Burns had 26. 2007 remains the last year the Bears played in the Super Bowl. So it'll be UConn ball out of the timeout. They got to go the full length of the floor. Full court DePaul pressure. They got 3 guys in the backcourt kind of shaped like a triangle. Malachi Smith lofts it into the front court. Now Stewart has it off to the left. Back to Smith, the backup point man, standing on the big Husky logo at center court. 13-9 the score. UConn the lead. 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. Off to the left. It's Ryba. Back to Karaban for 3, and he knocks it down for the left wing.
Karaban, you know what's crazy about him? When you look at those starters, he is not leading in any category in particular, but he's an All-American candidate. That shows you the depth and strength of this UConn team.
The Huskies 16, Demons 9, 10:45 to go in the first. McClure has it off to the left, blitzed by a double team, whips a pass to the far sideline, taken away by Karaban like a safety in football. Karaban across the line, off to the left, hesitation dribble. He's at the 3-point line marker, gives to Smith near the midcourt stripe straight away. He moves to the left, checked by Blocker, uses a screen from Karaban, spins to the top of the key. Now Karaban has it left of the circle. Ryba roaming left baseline, whirls inside the paint. Fall away jump with the left hand, no good. Rebound Stewart. His kick out taken away by Caleb Banks for DePaul near the free throw line.
Caleb Banks playing with 2 fouls, still out there in the first half, 10 minutes to go. Blocker
at the free throw line. Hop step, stops the dribble, gives to Banks between the circles. Demons work the ball around the perimeter. McClure off to the left now at the head of the key. Accelerates off to the right, dribbled off his foot. Ball loose under the basket and taken by Ryba. Yeah. UConn ball. Stewart across the line off to the left. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. UConn 16, DePaul 9. And now a trip.
Caleb Banks, third foul. You leave him out there with 2. Take the chance. Just the top of the half court there. Nothing happened. Just dribbling. Got their feet tangled up. Caleb Banks picks up his third foul.
Yeah, Jaden Ross ended on the deck. So Banks,
foul.
Yep, after picking up his third personal, has to check out. And entering the game for the first time is the freshman from, I should say the sophomore from France, Théo Pierre-Justin. 16-9 the score. UConn with the ball and the lead. 9:37 to go here in the first half. Demery at the head of the key. Left of the circle, it's Reed. Ross has it off to the right, whips a pass now mid-post, right of the lane. Reed, turnaround hook with the left hand, goes down.
It's tough inside. Shoots over 60% on the year. And they're looking to get him the ball down low in high scoring positions.
Had a double-double, Terrace Reed Jr. did at Wintrust in the first meeting this season. Demons basketball off to the left, R.J. Smith. Hesitation dribble. Now gives to Flores at the head of the key. Off to the right, it's Gunn. Behind the back with the dribble. Uses a Flores screen, stops the dribble. Pierre-Justin head of the key, under 10 to shoot for the Blue Demons. Smith off to the left in three-point territory. 5 to shoot. Is anyone looking at the shot clock? Gunn has it. Fall away, jump shot, gets it to go. Free throw line extended from the left.
It's one of those C.J. Gunn shots. Shot clock running down. You think, well, he had to get that one off, but tough shot that went in for him.
Yeah, ends a scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes for the Blue Demons. UConn 18-11 with the lead. 8:35 to go here in the first. Top key 3 for Ross, and he's fouled on the play by Gunn. The shot was an air ball, but Ross will go to the line and shoot 3.
You take the good with the bad with C.J. Gunn. He just came down, shot clock running down, makes a tough follow-away jumper, and then he comes back on the other side, fouls the three-point shooter, and they're going to go to the line here. But those are the type of fouls that put opponents in the bonus, put them at the line, give them points, and get your individual players in foul trouble. Those things add up. I talked about that. You do it early in the game, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but as the game progresses, those fouls become more and more important as they add up.
Ross hits the first of 3 free throws. It's 19-11 UConn. 8:33 remaining here in the first half. 2 more for Jaden Ross. Here comes the second. That's good again. So the Huskies now with an 8-point advantage. Smith sits. Mullins back in there for UConn. Did I say Huskies with an 8-point advantage? It's a 9-point advantage for UConn, 20-11. See, it's early in the morning. I need more Pepsi Zero Sugar. This third free throw is good. It's a 10-point lead for UConn. 21-11 over DePaul. 8:32 to go, first half. Demons with the basketball left to right across the line comes Layden Blocker. Calls out a set play with the left hand. Yo-yos with the right. Uses a Macklin screen, spins right of the circle. Smith has it right wing. Head of the key now, Macklin. Turns with the pivot foot, gives to Smith between the rings. Pierre-Justin off to the left, dribbles to the head of the key, feeds Blocker with 10 to shoot off to the right. Blocker drives, hop step in the paint, accelerates to the hole, layup partially blocked. UConn comes up with a loose ball. Here comes Demery across the line straight away. Checked by Pierre-Justin, spins by him, kick out Caravan, extra pass. Ross drives across the paint, left to right, in the corner, Mullins for 3. Oh, he stepped along the sideline in the corner. Turnover UConn. Demons catch a break.
UConn now with 4 turnovers. We've been able to take advantage of a little bit of those turnovers. I'm sorry, that was the 5th turnover now for UConn already. So with almost half of the first half to go, 5 turnovers. They have 10. You're talking about them being close to 20 turnovers for the game. And Coach Holzman talked to you about that before the game, Zach, in your interview, that they can be taken advantage of if you force turnovers. And the Demons doing a good job of that, but they're down 10.
7:57 to go here in the first half. Official timeout. UConn 21, DePaul 11. Rush is proud to be the official health system and health care provider of DePaul Athletics, driven by discovery, innovation, and a deep responsibility for the health of our communities. Rush is a national leader in outstanding patient care, education, research, community partnerships, and empowering a new generation of healthcare providers. Visit rush.edu for more information and to find a location near you. DePaul is 0-9 all-time in the state of Connecticut against the Huskies. And the Blue Demons have come in as hot as we've ever seen them under Chris Holtman, right? So maybe there's an opportunity for an upset. It's a daunting task, though, as UConn comes in with a record of 15-1, 5-0 in Big East Conference play. UConn has won 11 straight games since losing the 4th-ranked Arizona on November 19th. Arizona now number 1 in the country. UConn is coming off a scare, a 103-98 overtime win at Providence. The Huskies rallied from 11 down late in the second to force the extra session. UConn hit 18 threes in that game, a program record. UConn was picked to finish second in the Big East preseason coaches poll behind St. John's. Last year, UConn went 24-11, including 14-6 in Big East play, losing to Florida in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The Gators would go on to win the national championship after knocking out the back-to-back champ, UConn. The Huskies have won 6 national championships. That's tied for third most with North Carolina all-time, including those back-to-back titles in 2023 and 2024 under Dan Hurley. Only UCLA with 11 and Kentucky with 8 have more national championships than the 6 that UConn and North Carolina have won. The Huskies have 8 Big East tournament championships, tied for the most all-time. 11 Big East regular season titles, that's the most all-time. 37 NCAA tournament appearances, including 5 consecutive trips. They've been to 7 Final Fours, 13 Elite Eights, 19 Sweet 16s.
They're doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's a real credit. And I bring that up because at one point, people would have compared UConn to the way we looked at Indiana football before Kurt Signetti was able to
I don't know if it was that bad, but when Hurley came in, they were 7-11 the prior year.
I'm not talking about Hurley. I'm talking about Jim Calhoun and what he did for this program to put it on the map in big-time fashion. And, yeah, Hurley resurrected it after a couple of tough years for UConn. Everything's all relative under Kevin Ollie.
Well, Indiana football was never a dominant program. The UConn's had their runs.
We're back to the resumption of play. DePaul basketball, 7:50 remaining here in the first half. N.J. Benson has it for the Demons. Right of the lane. Backing in on Reed. Backs in, kick out top of the key. It's blocker, 10 to shoot for DePaul. He's blitzed by a double team. Cross-court pass, Pierre Justin off to the left. He'll launch for 3.
Man, he's struggled all year long, Pierre Justin.
Yeah. Rebound Mullins for UConn. Flies into the front court. Left side pass. 3 on the way. Jaden Ross misses. Rebound tapped out to UConn. Demery fires up a top key 3. That's short. And another rebound. Reed has it, and he's fouled.
Terrence Reed Jr. is a load down low.
Loud ovation here at People's Bank Arena in Hartford, crediting the hustle by Terrence Reed Jr., who's fouled by R.J. Smith. Reed will go to the line. 18 fouls on DePaul. So a 1-and-1 opportunity for Terrence Reed Jr. Here comes the first. Back rim doesn't go. A one-handed rebound for Pierre Justin of the Blue Demons. Into the hands of R.J. Smith, left to right across the line for DePaul. Demons down by 10, approaching 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Smith off to the right, head of the key, Pierre Justin. Left wing behind the arc. It's blocker. Uses a screen, spins to the top of the key. Bullet pass right corner. Macklin for 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound, Pierre Justin. Kick out Smith, right of the circle, drives, hop step of the paint, kick out Macklin in the corner. 15 to shoot for DePaul. Hand in the face from Ross. Backing in, right of the lane, Macklin. Double team comes, gives to Benson at the free throw line, shakes the shoulders, dribbles inside the paint. Pierre Justin for 3. Bullseye from the left corner.
All alone that time. He knocked it down. He's been struggling all year long. That's a big shot for him. Hopefully he gets hot.
21-14 UConn. 6.5 minutes to go in the first. Huskies with a basketball. Off to the left, Reed. Backing in, Benson on the high post. Kick out now, Caravan drives right baseline, and he banks home a layup.
Talking about Pierre Justin struggling. That was his first basket of the season in Big East play. He's really been struggling.
UConn 23, DePaul 14, approaching 6 minutes to go in the first. Blocker drives under the basket, kick out right side. It's Macklin, alley-oop, catch, jam, flying in for the left baseline. N.J. Benson.
Those two connect on a lot of those.
UConn 23, DePaul 16, 5:57 to go, half number one here on the road in Hartford. Silas Demery Jr. has it between the circles, uses a screen, bounces right, now checked by Smith, pushes him out of the way, no foul call, loops a pass inside Caravan, layup, banks it home with the right hand.
Good ball movement that time by UConn, finding open players underneath. They missed a few layups early, but these last few are going down.
So now the scoring picking up. UConn 25, DePaul 16, 5.5 minutes to go in the first. R.J. Smith in the front court, off to the left of the Demons, spins to the top of the key. Now he's right of the circle, drives, stops. Benson, top of the circle. Benson, hard dribble to the left hand, feeds Pierre Justin behind the arc. Back to Benson at the free throw line. He lost the ball. It's taken away by Ross into the front court down the left sideline. Behind him, Mullins. Now Demery has it left wing behind the arc. Back to Mullins, left side three. Hits the side of the rim, no good. Rebound batted out of bounds. Who touched it last? They say off the hands of Reed. DePaul ball.
Mullins wanted to take that shot, the first shot in the transition. Passed it up, got the ball back. A little bit pressured on that jump shot, but he had it in his mind. He was going to go up with it. Didn't fall. He's coming off a big game, so he's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
5:05 to go here in the first half. UConn 25, DePaul 16. Demons with a basketball. Here's Macklin across the line with a behind-the-back dribble straight away. Checked by Ball, pass to the middle, ball knocked away by Reed. It's loose on the far sideline and picked up by the Blue Demons. Benson in the backcourt. Gives to Macklin across the line. Off to the right, Smith, and he's fouled by Mullins.
You hear the reaction from the UConn fans here. They're upset here. They're watching the replay online here. They're upset that he didn't get a foul called on N.J. Benson on that loose ball earlier, and then they come back, call a foul on Mullins. So local crowd unhappy.
It looked like he knocked Demery out of bounds when he retrieved the ball along the far sideline, and it wasn't called. All right, Demons basketball. Smith has it at the free throw line. Kick out, top key three. Pierre Justin knocks it down. His second tray.
He hadn't hit a point in the whole Big East season.
Demons down by 6, under 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half on the road at UConn. 25-19 the score at the free throw line. Reed backing in. Benson has the ball knocked away. It's stolen by Blocker. Into the front court straight away. Drives to the hole, hangs in the air, high off the glass, banks home a tough layup. Demons within 4 as we approach 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. UConn 25, DePaul 21, and the crowd not happy here in Hartford. Off to the right, it's Demery. Checked by Blocker. Demons playing aggressive man-to-man half-court defense. Off to the left of the circle, Demery now guarded by Smith. Bounce pass inside Reed. Mid-post left of the lane. Backing it on Benson. Ball knocked away, and it rolls out of bounds. Last touch by Macklin in the near corner, but there's that defense again by DePaul.
N.J. Benson got a hand on it as Reed was backing down. Knocked the ball loose, had the loose ball, and Macklin almost came up with it, but again, great hustle by the Demons.
So it'll be UConn ball with 7 to shoot after this official timeout. 3:45 remaining in the first. What a game. UConn 25, DePaul 21. Hey, Blue Demon Nation, help recruit and retain the best student athletes of the Big East and nationally. Make a gift today to the Fund for Basketball Excellence. For more information, visit DePaulBlueDemons.com/give. This game in the first half, eerily similar to what transpired at Wintrust Arena last month. Remember, Demons were down by just 3 at halftime against UConn, then ranked 5th in the country. Now the Huskies ranked 4th, and the Demons just continuing to play hard, allowing the defense to do the talking, and they've been able to overcome some offensive struggles in the very early going of this game.
You look at the stats here, and you're right, the Demons are 7 for 19, 36% shooting here on the road in UConn against the number 4 team in the country, and yet they only trail by 4, much like that Georgetown game we just finished up. We weren't shooting the ball well, but we held Georgetown to 50 points. UConn, the top team in the conference in points per game, and so far 25-point, 4-point game, I know 25 points for UConn with 3:45 to go in the half. So the defense has been good for the Demons. They've got UConn's 9 out of 19. DePaul's 7 out of 19. DePaul's made 3 out of 10 3-pointers. UConn 2 out of 6. So can't get too much more even than that. UConn made a couple more baskets here. the Demons were down 13-7. UConn almost had us doubled on rebounding, but Demons did a nice job now to come back 13-10 overall on the boards, and they forced 7 turnovers here by UConn. So UConn turned the ball over enough to keep us in this game.
Yeah, Demons doing a good job of kind of changing the pace of the game at several points because of the defense. And UConn's a very organized team, so when you get them out of their flow, it changes the whole complexion of the game.
Yeah, good point. If you get them out of the rhythm that they're in, and the Demons, as you talk about, the defense will take a team out of rhythm, especially if you can force those turnovers. 7 turnovers now for UConn. And if you can run out and get a high percentage shot over those turnovers, that makes a difference.
So they have this bit here at People's Bank Arena in Hartford. There's a sponsor that's a dental company, so they have the camera roaming around the stands, and they find people, they want them to smile to show their teeth. Please keep your choppers in your mouth.
Nobody's got a camera on my teeth.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Although, for the dental company, they could do great work with you. I mean, let's be honest. They
want people to stay in the arena and not run out to halftime.
I'm so lucky that you being about 7 feet did not kind of ball up the fist and hit me in the kidney. So I appreciate that.
You are lucky.
Yeah. 7 seconds to go for UConn to get a shot off here. 3:45 remaining here in the first half. UConn ball front court baseline left. Demery feeds Caravan roaming left. Shot blocked. Loose ball retrieved by Reed. Did he step out of bounds? Yeah, he did, as he caught the ball under the basket along the end line. So out of the timeout, turnover UConn, DePaul ball.
4-point game. Here we come. This is the same type of game that we've been used to playing. We came off 2 victories against teams not the caliber of UConn, but we're playing the same type of defense.
3.5 minutes to go in the first. UConn 25, DePaul 21. Demons with a basketball at the head of the key. It's R.J. Smith. Swiping at the ball, Mullins. Left sideline extended. Now it's Benson whirls inside the paint. Floater just short at the front of the rim. Wouldn't go in. Mullins has the ball for UConn. Into the front court now. Ball off to the left in three-point territory. Working on Smith. Angle cut off. Throws it up high to Demery. Left of the circle. Checked by Blocker. Now Demery spins right of the circle at the free throw line. Hopping left. Spins. Scoop lay with the left hand. Banks it home.
Nice little step through there.
So UConn now up 27-21 over DePaul. Under 3 minutes to go in half number 1. Demons with the basketball. Off to the left, Layden Blocker. Checked by Demery. Uses a screen, spins to the top of the key. Behind him, Pierre Justin. Off to the left behind the arc. 15 to shoot for DePaul. Smith between the rings. Uses a Benson screen and spins left. Accelerates to the hole. Hop step in the paint. Couple of up fakes. Kick out free throw line. Benson drives. Hangs in the air. Shot blocked by Reed. And it rolls out of bounds under the basket. Last touch by DePaul.
Pierre Justin under the basket there, had his hands on it, but came a little bit too hard for him off that block shot. He wasn't expecting it.
So UConn basketball, Dave. The Huskies 27, Blue Demons 21, 2:33 to go in the first. Right to left across the line. It's Demery. Uses a read screen. Accelerates left. Scoop lay with the right hand. Banks it home.
Flores tried to get there in time off that screen to help out defensively. Not quite fast enough.
UConn 29, DePaul 21. 2:15 to go before halftime. Crowd making a lot of noise here in Hartford. R.J. Smith for the Blue Demons off to the left. Macklin has it between the circles. Macklin uses a Flores screen. Now blitzed by a double team. Reverses it right side. It's Blocker. Roams baseline. Angle cut off. Under 10 to shoot. Spins inside the paint. Has the ball knocked away. And Blocker's fouled.
Again, aggressive move in the lane by Layden Blocker. Demons doing a nice job of attacking UConn, making them play defense.
A minute 55 to go here, half number 1. UConn 29, DePaul 21. And Layden Blocker goes to the line for DePaul.
Silas Damari picked up that foul, his first foul.
Blocker eyes the rim, puts up the first free throw and knocks it home, ending another long scoring drought for the Blue Demons of nearly 2.5 minutes. UConn 29, DePaul 22, a minute 55 remaining. Blocker now with 8 points, including 3 of 3 at the stripe. One more free throw for Layden Blocker. He bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and puts home the second free throw. So DePaul down by 6 with a minute 55 to go in the first. UConn 29, DePaul 23. Blocker sits. McClure back in the game for DePaul. Silas Demery Jr. brings it up across the line for UConn. Down the right sideline of the front court. Uses a screen, spins to the top of the key. Now checked by Pierre Justin. Hard dribble with the right hand for Demery as he bounces right. Plays catch with Reed. Off to the right behind the arc. Reed working on Flores. Loops a pass inside. Caravan. Layup too strong. Demons come up with a rebound. Here's R.J. Smith left to right across the line. Smith dribbles off his foot. Turnover picked up by Mullins. It's a 1-on-2 break straight down the lane. Hangs in the air. Layup is good. And the foul.
Pierre Justin, I think, picked up that foul. He got there a little bit late. Great play by the freshman. We talked about how much he has improved. It hasn't been that long since they were in Chicago, but All-American, McDonald's All-American, getting used to college basketball and doing a nice job.
UConn 31, DePaul 23, a minute 24 to go. Pierre Justin picks up his first personal. And Mullins off to a fast start in this one. Give him 9 points as he knocks down the free throw and completes the three-point play. Mullins was a top 15 recruit. So 32-23 the score. UConn with the lead over DePaul. A minute 24 remaining before the end of the first half. Layden Blocker back in there for the Blue Demons. He'll cross the line off to the right. Feeds Pierre Justin at the head of the key. Spins with the pivot foot. Bounce pass Flores. Free throw line extended to the left. Now behind the arc. Blocker. Hop step in the paint. Couple of up fakes. Fall away jumper. Short. Rebound Flores left of the lane. Fresh 20 for the Blue Demons. Flores backs it out, gives to Blocker left corner. Blocker drives baseline. Bounce pass right corner. Pierre Justin up high. Macklin drives right, hangs in the air. Layup, banks it home. Power move by Layden Blocker. Went right at the big man Reed. UConn 32, DePaul 25. Under a minute remaining in the first. Huskies with the ball. Demery has it left of the circle. Now he's at the head of the key. Off to the left, Mullins puts it on the floor. Stops along the baseline. Up high, Demery. Hop step in the paint. And another foul on the Blue Demons.
Let's see who that called that one on. That's double bonus, I think.
Yep. 2 free throws coming up. The foul is on McClure of the Blue Demons. 37.7 seconds remaining here in the first. UConn 32, DePaul 25. And Silas Demery Jr. at the line for a pair of free throws. Here's the first. It's good. Demery, a 6'4 junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, transferred in from Georgia. Preseason All-Big East second team, coming off a whale of a game last time out at Providence, 23 points and 15 assists. Now timeout here before Demery shoots his second free throw. The timeout called by the Blue Demons. Get ready, DePaul fans. On Saturday, January 24th, the Big East road trip rolls into Chicago with a free fan fest at the Marriott Marquis from 1:30 to 3:30. They enjoy music, interactive games, giveaways, and youth activities. Meet Blue Demon legends like the guy sitting next to me, Dave Corzine. Catch a live filming of the Blue Demon Room podcast and grab photos with the Big East Championship trophy, all before the Blue Demons take on Seton Hall at 4 o'clock. For game tickets and details, visit DePaulBlueDemons.com. Did you know you were going to be a part of that? I'm just assuming,
Yeah.
you know, being a Blue Demon legend, that you got some notice.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
What's the most popular question you get from fans?
Did you play with Michael Jordan?
And the answer is yes. We played many games with Michael Jordan in the 1980s. All right, so Demery back at the line for his second free throw. UConn 33, DePaul 25. 37.7 seconds remaining in the first. The UConn guard puts up the free throw and puts it home.
Let's see what we do off of this timeout here now with 37 seconds left in the half.
Full court pressure by UConn along the near sideline. It's McClure. Whips a pass to Pierre Justin. 2-on-1 break. Drives right and gives to Flores with a bounce. And Flores slams it in with both hands, flying in from the left baseline. Big to big. You got to like that, Dave.
I did like that. You guys leading the fast break.
Silas Demery Jr. brings it up across the line and calls time. So UConn will draw up a play here for the final shot of the first half. 19.8 seconds remaining in half number one. UConn 34, DePaul 27. Demons hanging around.
You know, you look at these stats, And it looks like UConn dominating in a lot of these areas. They're shooting 52% from the field, and obviously that's been the Demons' strong suit is defense. They're allowing UConn, or whether they're allowing it or not, UConn has successfully made over 50%. For 12 out of 23 from the field, 52% shooting, 8 out of 9 from the free throw line. The out-rebounding is 15 to 12, and we're shooting only 37%, and yet we're only down by 7. Remember, we were down by 3. 33-30 was the halftime score in Chicago, so we are not that far off of the same type of first half we played in Wintrust Arena. Let's see if we can get a stop here now. 19.8 seconds to go in the half. UConn will hold for the last shot. Let's see if we can stop it.
Alex Caravan will trigger in the front court along the left sideline. Holds the ball, waist high, flips it into the backcourt. Ball knocked away by Blocker and retrieved under the basket by Demery. And now he'll walk it up across the line right to left. 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Shot clock off. Demery standing on the big Husky logo at center court. Uses a Caravan screen, spins left, drives, stops, hangs in the air. Shot off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Demery, left side three. Oh, he got it as the first half expires.
That was hurt. That one hurt. Second chance opportunity off an offensive board right before the halftime clock ran out.
And that gives UConn a 10-point lead after the first 20 minutes of play. At the half, UConn 37, DePaul 27 here at People's Bank Arena in Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, the Demons were playing some excellent defense. They negated the initial play by knocking the ball into the backcourt, and then Demery missed the shot, eventually ended up with the offensive board, and was able to knock down a three as time ran out on the first half, and UConn goes into the locker room with a 10-point lead over the Blue Demons, 37-27 here in Hartford. Zach Zidman and Dave Corzine with you. And it is time now to take a look at the first half statistics. Although you can do me a favor, if you don't want to do the first half statistics just at this point, all you have to do is load up the Big East scoreboard if you can. And if you can do that, I'd be able to...
overestimating my ability here. I got the halftime. Let's do halftime stats.
No, I'll do the scoreboard. I got it
the scoreboard?
Oh, yeah, 100%. We'll start with top 25 play. And as we speak, there is no other top 25 game that is currently in progress. But later on this afternoon, there's a pretty good one between number 5 Purdue hosting Penn State. In the Big East, there are a whole bunch of matchups to talk about today. Matchups that you should really be excited about, including St. John's at Creighton. And I think the thing that stands out to me about Big East play this season is that seemingly anyone can beat anybody, except usually when UConn's on the floor, having won 11 in a row. So I mentioned St. John's at Creighton. Marquette is home against Villanova. The Golden Eagles will be at Wintrust Arena on Friday for the Blue Demons' next game at home. Friday night should be a big one. The two rivals, DePaul and Marquette, meet. Xavier is home against Providence, and Seton Hall is on the road at Georgetown. Zach Zidman and Dave Corzine with you here in Hartford. And I stand corrected. There's a whole bunch. I hit the refresh button on the screen, and there are a whole bunch of top 25 games that are underway. All right, let's begin. In the second half, 10th-ranked Nebraska tied at 57 with Indiana in Bloomington. Also in the second half, number 20 Louisville 45, Boston College 43. Florida on top of number 21 Tennessee, 52-35 second half in Gainesville. Also in the second, it's number 22 Kansas leading West Virginia, 59-51 in Morgantown. Second-ranked Michigan on top of Wisconsin, 18-10 in the first. Baylor, the early 14-12 lead over 7th-rated Houston. 11th-ranked Vanderbilt 23, LSU 14. They are in the first half. And now, Dave, if you want, I don't want to rush you, but it's time now for the first half recap. Brought to you by Aries
after the excitement you brought.
Aries Charter Transportation, an official charter bus provider of DePaul Athletics.
All right, let's do it. Demons down by 10. Unfortunately, they had a chance it was a 3-point game for a while. They had a chance to cut this into a closer game. I think that's the biggest lead of the game by either team. Demons never led. This is the biggest lead of the game for UConn, a 10-point lead at the half, 37-27. Let's go over UConn's scoring first. We have three guys with 9 points apiece. Silas Demary Jr. with 9 points. Braylon Mullins, the freshman, with 9 points. Alex Caraban, the All-American candidate, with 9 points, two-time NCAA champion. Alex Caraban leads this team in so many categories.
You know what's interesting about Caraban? You mentioned the back-to-back championships that he won early in his UConn career. He is 107-23 in a UConn uniform. Let me repeat. Alex Caraban in his college career, 107-23.
I think I was looking. He will play more. He will start more games than anybody in UConn history if he finishes up this season healthy, obviously. But you know what's, like I said, we talked about this before the game. What's amazing on this UConn team, Alex Caraban is up for Player of the Year, one of the best players, All-Americans, two-time champion.
Yeah.
You look at their statistics, you look at their stats, their starters. Solo ball, Terrence Reed score more than him. Terrence Reed rebound. There's nothing. Braylon Mullins, the freshman, is first in the league in three-point field goal percentage, second in three-point field goals made per game. Silas Demary Jr. is leading 8.8 assists per game, assist-to-turnover ratio 4.9, second assist-to-turnover 2. Just so many of these stats dominated by other players, and yet Alex Caraban is the guy that's a two-time NCAA champion. He's really the leader of this team. He leads. He may not lead in every category, but he excels in every one of them.
The thing that stands out is there's an ability there to win, right? And an acknowledgement that, hey, there are certain things I have to do that maybe sacrifice from my personal goals in order to have the team win. And if you win, you eventually end up getting the notoriety that you want anyway. But
a lot of the guys in those championship teams have gone on to NBA and starred at the next level. Alex Caraban has been a consistent part of this UConn program.
There are 8 former UConn players in the NBA, including Stefan Castle with San Antonio, Donovan Clingan with Portland, and Liam McNeely, who was with UConn last year, was not part of the back-to-back championship teams. But had he not gotten hurt, I believe last year, had he had a full season where he didn't get injured, maybe you're looking at UConn winning 3 consecutive championships. They were that good.
They were that good. What do you say we get back to the halftime stats?
All right, go ahead.
Let's do that again. We finished up with the 3 leading scorers for UConn: Alex Caraban, Silas Demary, Braylon Mullins, all with 9 points apiece. We talked about they don't get much off the bench. The other scorers for UConn, Terrence Reed, they went down low to him, seemed like quite often in the game, but good defense by the big guys with the Blue Demons. Terrence Reed only with 4 points on 2 for 4 shooting, even though they look to get him. Malachi Smith with 3, Jaden Ross with 3 off the bench. So they've got 6 points off the bench, but they struggle. Their starters don't get them points. They struggle off the bench. For the Demons scoring, let's see, leading scorer with the Demons is Layden Blocker. He had the first 5 points of the game. He's got 9 points now at the half. 2 out of 6, though, from the field. He knocked down 1 3-pointers. Demons 3 for 10. He's knocked down 1 of the 3 3-pointers. All 4 of his free throws have gone down, so he's got 9 points in the game. N.J. Benson and Brandon Macklin with 4 points apiece. Only other scorers for the Blue Demons, C.J. Gunn with 2, Fabian Flores with 2, and then let's not forget Teo Pierre Justin comes off the bench, knocks down 2 out of 3 3-pointers, his first points and big in action. This is the 6th Big East game of the year. He was 0 for 2 coming into this game. He hadn't scored a point in Big East play. Came up with 6 big points, knocked down 2 3-pointers in the first half there. Huge buckets, and that'd be great to see him loosen up a little bit. He's not a bad 3-point shooter. We saw him as a freshman. Shoot the ball pretty well from the perimeter, but I think it's been in his head a little bit here this season. So maybe that'll help him break out of the shooting slump he's been in. UConn out-rebounding the Demons 16-12. Neither team getting a lot of action on the offensive boards. Second chance points, DePaul actually leads in that 5-3. So they've done a nice job keeping UConn off of the offensive boards. Points in the paint, UConn got a 20-10 lead. Bench points again in the Demons' favorite, 12-6. Shooting percentages, UConn in the first half, 52%. We've allowed them to shoot 52% from the field. They only took 7 3-point opportunities, made 3 of those, 43% though. A good percentage, but not a lot of shots. 3 out of 7. Free throw shooting, UConn 8 out of 9. The Demons 9 out of 24 from the field, only 37%. 3 out of 10 of those were from behind the 3-point line. Then they've made all 6 of their free throws. They didn't get that many looks. Neither team really got many looks from the free throw line.
Let me ask you this. As you're talking about the Blue Demons' numbers from the field, and we talked about this with Coach Holtman in the pregame show, Demons needed to find a way to score in this game to give themselves a chance against UConn. From what you've noticed, have the Demons had good looks from the field?
No, I don't think they've got good looks. And, this UConn team is number 1 in the conference in defensive field goal percentage. So, again, it's not unusual that they don't get good looks. But I haven't seen the Demons. Unfortunately, I picked R.J. Smith to be the hot hand tonight. He's 0 for 3. He's a guy that can shoot 3-pointers and hasn't got out to a good start. C.J. Gunn, you talked about coming off a poor game against Georgetown, only 3 points in that Georgetown game. Again, he's our leading scorer. For us to put enough points on the board, he's going to have to be productive. And in 10 minutes in the first half, he's only 1 for 3. He's got 2 points. So we rely on him for a lot of our scoring. He hasn't been able to come up with it recently. So you're looking at, we've got to find ways to put the ball in the bucket. Right now, Layden Block, we've got away from that. The transition offense. We were running. We look for offense a lot throughout the course of the season. We're about halfway through the season now. But in the non-conference portion of the year, we really tried to emphasize transition basketball and getting points early in the offense before the defense can set up, because we don't have a lot of really good one-on-one players. A lot of guys that are 3-point shooters in half court. Mm-hmm. You get these guys open in transition. You talked about how structured UConn is.
Right.
If we can scatter the game a little bit, get some defensive rebounds, which we're doing a pretty good job on the boards. We're right now down 16-12, but if we can get that defensive rebound, that allows us to push out. What's helped us is the turnovers. They've got 7 first-half turnovers. 8 first-half turnovers. They got it together a little bit towards the end, but they had, if we can continue to turn them over, and then we've got to push the ball. The only way we're going to get points, any team's going to get points, you're shooting well from the perimeter, but again, shooting well from the perimeter encompasses a lot more than just shooting well from the perimeter. These guys aren't on the gym alone. They got defensive players on them. They're moving the ball around. They're on the run playing. So your defensive, your 3-point field goal percentage a lot of times is affected, obviously, by the defense being played on here. And we talked about, you asked this question originally, are they getting good looks? And that was a long answer, and the answer is no, they're not. They haven't been getting very many good looks at all in the first half.
I appreciate how thorough you are in answering
I really wanted
my
to beat that
questions.
to death.
Yeah, so that means a lot to me, the fact that you would take the time to not only process the question, but come up with an essay as an answer. Which
I'm giving you a halftime break here, Zach.
I really, really appreciate it. We are at the half here in Hartford. UConn with a 37-27 lead over DePaul. Zach Zaidman, Dave Corzine with you. There's your first half recap, courtesy of Aries Charter Transportation. So the place is now called People's Bank Arena. It opened in 1975 as the Hartford Civic Center, home to the Hartford Whalers at the time. Hartford still has the arena. No longer does Hartford have the Whalers, as the hockey team moved to North Carolina and became the Carolina Hurricanes. And it was a big deal when Hartford lost the hockey team, because when this place was built, there was a mall connected to it like you could walk right out of the concourse. It was a very big deal.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, so UConn eventually started playing here. This is about 35 miles to the west of the UConn campus in Storrs, but because this arena is a little bit bigger than the on-campus facility, Gamble Pavilion, this place holds 15,495, and it gets really loud.
We don't
as you
often
can
play
tell.
here. We play over at Gamble Pavilion a lot. You know, I take this as a compliment that they moved, that our game is played over here. They got a nice crowd for it. I mean, this place goes way up. The seats go. I don't know if you can see the floor from the top there. We should go up there and see what you can. These guys up at the top, they must have their own club or the TV. They bring TVs with them or something up there. It's a long way to the court from up the top of these bleachers here, and they fill it up. Place is just about sold out.
Yeah, they definitely fill it up, and the thing is, if you're the Blue Demons, there's nothing quite like being able to silence the crowd. The Blue Demons had one of those type of wins in a much smaller arena, but a very difficult place to play at Wichita State to close out the non-conference portion of the season, and the Demons rallied after a rough offensive start to win that game in Wichita. And man, it would be something if you could end UConn's 11-game winning streak. The Huskies entering play today 15-1, 5-0 in Big East Conference play. Blue Demons are looking for their third consecutive Big East win. That's something they have not done in regular season action since 2022, Dave, when the Blue Demons knocked off a whole bunch of teams in succession. And to me, when I go back and look at that, and I remember that it took a while for the Blue Demons to get back on track when Chris Holtmann took over. Remember, he took over a program that had not won a game in the Big East the year before he got there. And then last year, the Blue Demons won 4 games in conference play. They closed out with back-to-back wins over Providence and Georgetown, then entered the Big East tournament and knocked off the Hoyas again.
I just point out, look at the halftime huddle. Coach Holston's on the outside. I don't know who's diagramming things in the huddle, but Coach Holston's on the outside looking in. I don't know who's in charge down there.
It looks like a
who's sitting down there? Is that
it's
Brandon
Mullins?
Mullins?
Brian Mullins, one of the Demons' assistants. He had the board, right?
Is he talking to you?
Yeah, Brian Mullins, the former Southern Illinois head coach.
Is he in charge of the offense?
Yes.
All right.
And
well, we won't blame him.
is almost like the defensive coordinator of the Blue Demons.
Brandon Bailey, he's got to be pretty proud of his defensive accomplishments here, what he's done with this team. But Brian Mullins here, he's got to see if he can get this offense going. Got to start shooting the ball again. Let's see if we can get. You got to do it off the defensive end. Get some defensive rebounds, turnovers, do some good things in the defensive end, and then push that ball down the floor.
And we're ready for the second half. Blue Demons basketball moving from right to left from our vantage point, high atop People's Bank Arena here in Hartford. And a pass to the middle, taken away by Caravan. Plays catch with Demery. Layup, no good by Caravan.
And the foul and the goaltending, is that what we're going to get?
Did they give him a goaltend? The official's going to discuss it right now.
UConn wants one. Yep, I think they gave him the bucket.
N.J. Benson came from behind and blocked
Let's see what happens.
Dave, you're jumping to conclusions. Did they?
They gave him the bucket, and he's going to go to the line. At least it's up on the scoreboard. See if they reverse it. I don't know why they would.
Hold on, they're going to review it. So, remember.
I don't think that was goaltending on the review. There's a nice block there by N.J. Benson.
Yeah, now remember, we are in Hartford, so obviously the scoreboard operator
they're re-looking at it
here at UConn is going to check to see if it's a goaltend. We do know this much. Caravan was fouled on the shot. So the question, he was fouled by Layden Blocker. And if it is a goaltend, it would be on N.J. Benson. Have you been able to see another look at the replay?
No, I haven't. And let's go back to what led to that play was the turnover to start the half. We just sat there and talked about the Demons huddling up before the second half started, getting Brian Mullen diagramming plays, working on something they're going to come out of the half. They spent the whole halftime in there, I'm sure, talking about how they can improve their offensive performance here, and that's what they're going to focus on. And they come out and turn the ball over on the first possession of the half. So, again, you want to get a little momentum going. You want to see how the second half starts. You want to come out and play hard. Turning over the ball to start the half, not the way to start. And that led to the layup or the foul. I think they're going to continue to give them the basket. I think that I'm not sure what they're looking at here. I think it was a good block. I don't know if they'll reverse it, but I think it was a good block.
They're still looking, so we'll wait and see.
2 free throws. Maybe they're motioning 2 free throws. That's fair. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, they have not made an announcement. We're still waiting. Nope.
They took the score.
Yeah,
yep, there you go.
They've taken the bucket off the scoreboard, so it's a 2-shot foul. And you were right. Great vision, Dave.
Every once in a while.
You know, it took you a long time to get to the point, but the bottom line is you were right. It's not a goaltending violation. So Layden Blacker picks up the personal foul.
That was a great block is what it was.
Great block by
NJ Benson.
But the block doesn't count. So anyway, can I get back to the play-by-play? Karaban knocks down the first free throw. Every point counts, Dave. It is 38-27 UConn as Karaban knocks down the second free throw and makes it 39-27 UConn. We've just started the second half. 10 seconds gone by. Demons with the basketball right to left across the line. Comes Layden Blacker down the left sideline. A diagonal spin to the middle. He's at the top of the key. Trips, keeps the dribble, bounces it to Macklin near the midcourt stripe straight away. So the Demons maintain possession. Macklin has it at the head of the key. Hesitation, dribble, free throw line extended to the right. Now he accelerates, hop step, stops, kick out, blocker, right circle, 3, short. And the rebound goes out to Mullins of UConn. Into the front court, down the right sideline, gives behind him Karaban, head of the key. UConn will work it around the perimeter. Now Reed has it off to the left. It's the ball. Guest high. Being hounded by Benson. Now a corner 3 for Mullins. That's no good. Hit the back of the rim. And the Demons come up with a rebound. R.J. Smith has it across the line straight away. Feeds Gunn left of the circle. Demons down by 12. A minute gone by second half. Benson head of the key. We're on the road here at UConn. Macklin top of the circle. Drives left. Hangs in the air. And he's fouled by Terrace Reed Jr.
Reed almost stripped him there. Had a hand on top of the ball. He was looking to get that pass over to NJ Benson. Those two have a good feel for playing together. That's what's important about playing together. You get the timing down of your teammates. And right now, Brandon Macklin and NJ Benson doing a nice job.
They've given Macklin.
I don't know why he's shooting the ball.
Hey, don't tell the refs. We're way up here. They can't hear you anyway. Macklin puts up the first free throw, knocks it down. And it did. In looking at the replay, it definitely looked like Macklin threw a bounce pass to Benson inside, but they gave him a shot attempt. So UConn 39, DePaul 28. A minute gone by second half. The second free throw by Macklin is short. Rebound gone. Turnaround hook with the right hand. He missed the bunny. And UConn comes up with a rebound. Reed's got it. Hands off to Karaban. And the big man with an underhand shovel toss to Demery straightaways. Crosses the timeline. Off to the right. Demery working on blocker. Hands off to Ball along the near sideline up top. Back to Demery. Right wing behind the arc. Head of the key. Ball under 10 to shoot. Ball drives straight down the lane. Scoop level the left hand. Count the basket and the foul.
That was such an athletic play there. You saw him cross over at the free throw line. Take it to just really extended his body full length. Left hand there. He's a left hand who went up and finished that shot through the contact from NJ Benson. Nice play by Solo Ball, leading scorer on this UConn team, averaging over about 17 points a game.
A minute 40 gone by here in the second half as Ball knocks down the free throw, and UConn's up 41-29 over the Blue Demons.
It's first basket by Solo Ball here in the game.
Correction, 42-28 is the score. They actually gave each team a number there.
Us a break.
Yeah, they're trying to confuse us up here. Demons basketball, head of the key, Benson. Off to the right now, it's Blocker behind the arc. Uses a screen, gives left side for Smith. 5 to shoot for the Blue Demons. Blocker head of the key, stops at the free throw line. Pull up, jump. Back rim doesn't go. Reed the rebound for UConn. Huskies 42, Blue Demons 28. Nearly 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Between the circles. It's Demery, flips it to Reed, the big man, right wing behind the arc, holds the ball waist high, puts it on the floor, one dribble to his right, stops, end of hand toss now to Ball, right side 3, rims out, rebound Reed, is put back high, if the glass won't go, Karaban the rebound, layup, blocked from behind by Benson. The loose ball retrieved at the head of the key by Ball. Now left of the lane. It's Reed backing in on Benson. Turns inside the paint. Hook shot, right hand.
Wow.
Count the basket.
What do you have to do to get an offensive foul in this game? Reed just dropped his shoulder, and N.J. Benson repeatedly just rammed him with his shoulder down low and finally made that jump hook. But there's a lot of contact there. I don't know why he gets away with just ramming the guy down under the basket.
Timeout DePaul. The game escaping the Blue Demons. UConn 44. DePaul 28. Nearly 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Zach Zaidman, Dave Corzine with you. Visit Myrtle Beach. Even Dibbs knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/DePaul to enter. Your ultimate beach break is a click away. Our engineer today is Tim Helmecki, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. All right, how do you stop the bleeding here if you're DePaul?
Got to put some points on the board. We had 27 points at half. We have not scored here. Almost 3 minutes into the second half. We're 0 for 3 from the floor, and we had a couple turnovers. So, we've got to be in a position where we have to take care of the ball. Every one of those little mistakes adds up. These little turnovers, little missed layup a couple times. C.J. Gunn did a nice job getting the offensive board there and a putback on a free throw. Misses the layup, putting back in. So, I appreciated what Coach Holtman said to you early in the interview before the game about we don't have to play perfect, we just have to play hard. So I think you put too much pressure on yourself if you feel like you have to play perfect. If you just play hard throughout the course of the game, you're going to end up in good shape. So this is a tough team to play against. Any team can have a hard time coming in here to Hartford. So we've just got to put it out on the floor. 17-17 to go. What do you got to lose? Play hard.
UConn shooting nearly 50% from the field, 15 of 31. DePaul 33%, 9 of 27. But since the second half started, UConn 2 of 6 from the floor. So already UConn has more field goals since halftime than Georgetown did against DePaul last time out.
You're not going to be able to recreate that situation. That was an amazing. I tell you, that's got to be one of the most amazing halves of basketball for a DePaul team. Obviously, any Division I game in the country. 1986, the last time any team in Division I basketball was held to just one field goal in a half. Now, think about all the teams that have played basketball in all the games since 1986. The performance on the defensive end of the floor by the Blue Demons was amazing. You're playing another Big East team. They're not playing a pre-conference game against a weak opponent. Georgetown looks to improve this year. They're in their third year under Ed Cooley. So Georgetown is not an easy game to win. One field goal in the second half, just a remarkable performance by the Blue Demons.
We're here in Hartford. Nearly 3 minutes gone by second half. Demons have to go the full length of the floor against full court UConn pressure. Macklin a trigger in under the basket. It's Smith who dribbles along the near sideline and will cross the line right to left. UConn 44, DePaul 28. Smith verbally calls out a set play with a right-handed dribble. Uses a screen, spins to the left wing. Now he's in the corner. Loops a pass inside. Flores, left of the lane, working on Reed. 10 to shoot. Back up high. It's Smith inside Flores. He missed the jam, but he was fouled on the play by Reed. And Fabian Flores will go to the line and shoot 2 for DePaul.
Yeah, Reed hit him on the arm there. That's Reed's third foul. So it doesn't hurt us to get their big guy in foul trouble. 3 fouls, 16:52 to go in the second half.
So Fabian Flores at the stripe for 2. 7-footer from Spain. Knocks down the first free throw. That ends a DePaul scoring drought of 2 minutes. Reed sits with the third personal, and back in the game is a 7-footer for UConn from Germany, a freshman by the name of Eric Reiba. Flores puts up the second. That's good again. So the Demons down by 14, 16:52 to go. Half number 2 on the road here at UConn. Huskies 44, Blue Demons 30. Full court pressure by the Demons as solo ball brings it up, working against Ilya Miljasevic. He crosses the timeline now between the rings. It's Demery for UConn, uses a screen from Caravan, bounces right, checked by Pierre Justin. Demery spins to the top of the key, off a curl at the free throw line, ball drives left, high layup off the glass, banks it home.
Again, the drive with the left hand, solo ball coming off the pick on the other direction. Teams aren't used to that, the left-hander against the right-hander.
UConn 46, DePaul 30, 16-20 to go second half. R.J. Smith with the ball for the Blue Demons, off to the left. A bounce pass left of the lane, knocked away by Mullins, and he saves it along the baseline into the hands of Ball, who crossed the line left to right. Off to the right, three-point territory, Caravan. Head of the key, Ryba. The big man dribbles, left, stops. Has the ball knocked away by Flores, retrieves, gives inside Mullins. His floater is good with the right hand.
And that was a nice pressure release by Mullins there. Couldn't find anybody to get the ball to. He goes backdoor cut. Nice little chip shot there to make it go down.
All UConn now up 48-30 over DePaul. 4 minutes gone by half number 2. Macklin head of the key for the Blue Demons. Drives right, up fake, and a high degree of difficulty on a layup. Going right at 2 guys. He banks it in high off the glass. UConn 48, DePaul 32. 15:26 to go second half. UConn with the basketball. Mullins near the midcourt stripe straight away. Off to the left, Demery behind the arc, checked by Macklin. Uses a screen, spins to the top of the circle. Now he's between the rings. A bounce pass Mullins off to the right, and a foul called on Macklin.
Trying to get around that screen, just holding on to him as he defended him.
So that leads to an official timeout. UConn 48, DePaul 32. 15-12 remaining here in the second half. Blue Demons in some trouble here on the road against the 4th-ranked team in the country. Disparty Law Group is Chicago's law firm. Disparty Law is the accident and injury law firm that fights hard for you. Just like the DePaul Blue Demons, the Disparty team knows how to win. When you're injured at work or in an accident, remember one name, Disparty Law Group, because Larry wins. Following today's ball game, the Blue Demons are off until Friday night, and then they'll see Marquette for the first time this season to renew that long-standing rivalry against the Golden Eagles. Game number 1 of 2 this season against Marquette will take place Friday night at Wintrust Arena. Should be a fun night in the South Loop. And I bring that up because right now, down 48-32, if you're the Blue Demons, you've struggled mightily from an offensive standpoint. You just want to keep playing hard, which has never been an issue for the Blue Demons, but hopefully that hard play on the defensive end of things allows you an opportunity for some easy baskets.
Again, we talked about this a little bit at the halftime. The Demons have got away from pushing the ball up the floor in transition. They've slowed down the pace of the game, and that is one of the reasons that their scoring has dripped so much. 56 points in the victory over Georgetown, who got away with only a 56-point game due to an incredible job on the defensive end. But we're not going to win a lot of games unless we can get out of the 50s and put some points on the board. Here we're at 32 with 15-12 to go. Obviously, one of the best defensive teams in the country here, Zach. And you made a good point when you asked earlier, have we missed a lot of good looks? You pay attention to this game. We haven't got an open shot. Actually, Pierre Justin knocked down a couple of his 2 threes with ball movement. He got, I think, the only 2 real good just open looks that we've had the whole game.
UConn is one of the best defensive teams in the country and also obviously in the Big East. And it shows. I mean, number 2 in scoring defense in the conference, holding teams to 63.5 points per game. Number 1 in defensive field goal percentage, 38%. Number 1 in three-point defense, holding teams to 28%. I bring that up because you need to hit threes to come back when you're down 48-32, and not even 5 minutes have gone by here in the second half. But you got to give UConn the credit for making DePaul look the way it's looked offensively.
Of course, we're playing the number 4 team in the country, undefeated team in the Big East. And I mentioned prior to the game today, UConn leads in 11 different individual team categories in the Big East. Scoring margin up 16, over 16. Field goal percentage on the season, 48%. Field goal percentage defense, whole teams to 38%. Three-point field goal percentage, they shoot 40%. offensive and defensive rebound. They're the best teams in the league. So name a category, UConn excels.
Huskies ball out of the timeout in the front court near the midcourt stripe straight away. It's Silas Demery Jr., transfer from Georgia, uses Mullins' screen and gives to Caravan. 3-point range to the left, being hounded by Pierre Justin. 10 to shoot for UConn. Ryba ahead of the key, whips a pass too high for Demery, who's cutting on the basket, and it sails out of bounds. Turnover, UConn.
A little bit late on that. They saw they had the play set up. Ryba just tried to force that. He just got there a little late.
5 minutes gone by. Second half. UConn 48, DePaul 32. Tiemens with the basketball. Blocker across the line off to the right. Now he's at the head of the key. Spins left of the circle. He's checked by Demery. Head of the key. It's Macklin. Hand in the face from Ball. Uses a Benson screen and rolls right. He's in 3-point range. Between the legs with the dribble. Another Benson screen for Macklin. Almost lost the ball. Spins right. Whips it now left of the circle with 5 to shoot. It's Blocker. Drives to the free throw line. Whirls inside the paint. Fall away jump shot. Back rim. No. Ball batted up in the air and picked up by Mullins for UConn. Left to right across the line, feeds Caravan off to the left in 3-point territory. Uses a screen, spins to the top of the key, and we've got a foul on the Blue Demons. Teo Pierre Justin picks it up. So substitution for DePaul. Macklin sits, CJ Gunn re-enters. Pierre Justin now with 2 personals. It's a non-shooting foul. UConn will trigger in the front court. Near sideline, Ball feeds Demery at the head of the key. Blocker backs him up all the way near the midcourt stripe. Demery bounces left. Another screen. He bounces to the top of the circle. Off to the left, Ryba. Behind him, Mullins, who's got it left of the circle. Drives to the free throw line. Right back to Ryba. Turnaround hook. Banks it home. Just to the left of the lane with a left hand.
UConn's got another good center there in Ryba. He's done a nice job.
UConn 50, DePaul 32. 13:54 to go in the game. Blocker at the free throw line. Alley-oop, too strong over the head of Benson, and it spins out of bounds along the baseline under the basket.
Too far behind him. He's got to put that near the rim. Benson going to the bucket. That pass about 7-8 feet behind him. He didn't have a chance to really get a hand on it.
UConn 50, DePaul 32. 13:49 to go, second half. Full court pressure now by the Blue Demons. Have 3 guys in the backcourt shaped like a triangle. Demery straight away. Now he's double teamed by Pierre Justin into the front court. Ball in it. He catches the ball and spins. He collides with Cruz McClure, who's down on his back. Remember, McClure just came back today after missing the last 2 games with a concussion. Oh, man.
Fell right at the feet of Dan Hurley, and Dan Hurley immediately calls out DePaul coaches and DePaul trainers to take care of him. He's still laying down on the floor.
Trusted trainer Mike Summer now taking a look at McClure, who's laying on his back with his knees bent. Chris Holtman on one knee.
Dan Hurley's concerned as anybody else. He's not even in the huddle. He's watching Cruz McClure there, making sure he's okay.
So we'll monitor that situation. Obviously, timeout on the floor. 13:43 remaining in the second half. UConn 50, DePaul 32. Zach Zaidman, Dave Corzine, our engineer Tim Hilmecki helping us blast to the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. And now McClure being helped up onto his feet by trusted trainer Mike Summer and head coach Chris Holtman. He's getting a nice ovation from the crowd here in Hartford.
Shaking up though, he's not looking good.
Well,
he's on his feet, but
we're not gonna pretend to be doctors here, and we'll see what transpires here as Mike Summer walks Cruz McClure to the end of the DePaul bench. UConn 50, DePaul 32, 13:43 remaining here in the second half.
Yeah, he's going to sit on the end of the bench. I thought he might be going straight to the locker room, but so far you can tell that he got hit pretty good.
So Caleb Banks re-enters for DePaul with McClure at the end of the bench. UConn basketball with 25 to shoot. Solo ball will trigger in the front court along the right sideline. He feeds Jalen Stewart off to the right in 3-point territory, checked by Banks. Head of the key, Ball spins left, hands off to Demery, who's now at the top of the key. Dribbles right, whips a pass left side for Caravan, drives inside the paint, working on Gunn. Hook shot, right hand, too strong, fight for the rebound. Blocker comes up with it for DePaul. And Blocker racing to the front court straight away. Blocker a hesitation dribble at the free throw line, and he backs it out into three-point territory. The Demons will reset the offense. Off to the left, Gunn behind the arc. Caravan in his grill. Gunn head of the key, driving right, kick out right corner, blocker for three. That's too strong. Long rebound out to Demery, across the line for UConn, down the right sideline, gives left side, Caravan deep three. That's no good. Short one-handed rebound for Gunn. He spins back the other way, right to left across the line. Gunn driving right, kick out ball taken away in the corner by Demery. Into the front court, Stewart, back to Demery in the paint, and whips a pass too strong over the head of Caravan, and it flies out of bounds along the far sideline. Demons catch a break.
You know, you talk about if you hurry up this UConn team, they love to play in rhythm. If you hurry up, they make mistakes. That time, back and forth, Demons made a couple of turnovers, and UConn, again, not able to convert on that transition there on the fast break, so call a break.
DePaul ball down 50-32 here on the road at UConn. 12:41 remaining in the second half. It's been nearly 3 minutes since the Demons last scored a point. R.J. Smith has it left of the circle. Bounce pass inside. Gunn just to the left of the lane. He was held by Stewart. Foul called on the UConn forward.
It's only the third team foul here in the second half, so Demons are going to have it under the basket. 20 seconds to go in the shot clock.
Front court baseline left, blocker triggers in, feeds Benson off to the left, back to blocker. Left wing behind the arc, checked by Malachi Smith. Off a curl, Gunn. Triple team left the lane and pushed to the deck by Smith. A foul called. It was a delayed call. Chris Holtman kind of held his hands out as if to say, how did you guys not see that? They did. Remember, it's an early start. Sometimes the officials didn't get a good night's sleep. It happens. 12:24 to go here in the second half. By the way, the foul called on Smith. His first personal. UConn 50, DePaul 32. Demons will trigger in the front court along the left sideline, right in front of the DePaul bench. R.J. Smith will put it in play. Holds the ball over his head. Waits for a cutter. Feeds Benson out of the key. Back to Smith at the free throw line. Drives right. Hangs in the air. Shot high off the glass. No good. Fight for the rebound. Benson had it. Lost it. And Smith comes up with the ball for UConn. Left to right across the line for the Huskies. Now down the right sideline with a left-handed dribble. Spins to the top of the key. Checked by Gunn. Approaching 12 minutes to go in the game. UConn 50, DePaul 32. Smith on the big Husky logo at center court. At the free throw line, Caravan. Left wing, it's Stewart. Shakes the shoulders, roams baseline, and lost the ball. It spins out of bounds. I'm not sure if a Demon hit it, but they say last touch UConn. It'll be DePaul ball after the timeout. 11:55 to go in the second half. UConn 50, DePaul 32. Did you catch a clear look at what happened there?
I think the ball just went off his hand. Stewart driving the baseline, trying to force that play, trying to get to the basket. He got cut off on the baseline there, and then just tried to force the ball up, finally lost control of it, and it goes back to the Demons.
Follow the Blue Demons wherever you go. The official DePaul Blue Demons app features live and on-demand video content, in-game stats, score updates, the latest apparel, and more. Download the official DePaul Blue Demons app today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/app. So it's gotten ugly from an offensive standpoint over the last few minutes of this ball game. It's been more than 3.5 minutes since DePaul last put a point on the board. It's been more than 2 minutes since UConn last scored. 11:55 remaining in the second half. All Huskies right now a 50-32 lead over the Blue Demons.
Well, what you described there, Zach, is exactly what's been happening to the Demons. It's been a while since UConn has scored, and that's because the Demons are playing very good defense, as they have done throughout the course of the year. It's been a while since the Blue Demons have scored because they have struggled offensively for the majority of the season, and we're seeing the same thing happen here over the last few minutes.
And just got word from the DePaul bench that Cruz McClure will not return to action today. So right now the focus turns to the freshman from just outside Columbus, Ohio. With the game getting out of hand here, Cruz McClure had missed the previous 2 games recovering from a concussion. He was good enough to go today, and then was involved in
Wouldn't you know it?
a little collision.
Gets his head
and hits
coming
his
right
head
off of it.
Yep. So
concussion protocol. He bounces heads and back to the locker room. You could tell that he was pretty shaken up as he was helped off. Took him a while to get up off of the court and fell right at the feet of Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley, concerned with him there as he saw him laying down at his feet. He called over DePaul coaching staff and trainers, and Mike Sommer came up, got him off of the court, but he was having a hard time walking to the bench. And I don't know. Now, Jack, did you see? Is he still there? Or did they take him to the locker room? They're in the huddle now. I can't tell if he's out on the floor now or they took him into the locker room. I think. I don't see him.
I don't see McClure or trusted trainer Mike Sommer on the bench. So
hopefully he's going to be okay.
I'm sure he's been taken inside to the locker room. UConn 50, DePaul 32, 11:55 to go here in the second half. Blue Demons having some difficulty here against the fourth-ranked team in the country, as has just about everybody outside of top-ranked Arizona. UConn has won 11 straight games since losing to then fourth-ranked Arizona on November 19th here in Connecticut. Arizona ranked now number 1 in the country. UConn with a record of 15-1. So it'll be DePaul ball out of the timeout. Demons have to go the full length of the floor. Caleb Banks will trigger in. Full court pressure by UConn. 4 guys in the backcourt, and now the Huskies back off as Layden Blocker brings it up across the line, down the right sideline, into the front court, right to left. Blocker dribbles to the corner, loops a pass inside. Benson, right of the lane, working on Ryba. Back to the basket, backs in. He whirls baseline, up fake layup, no good, but he got fouled on the play. An excellent spin by Blocker to free himself up. He's going to the line to shoot 2.
By Benson, you mean, not Blocker.
Yes,
NJ
correct.
Benson there on the block up against the freshman. Ryba takes it to the... I love NJ Benson's game. I like the way he goes so hard. He's had a struggling as many of the Demons are tonight, 2 for 6 from the field, but he's a load inside.
Benson misses the first free throw at the back of the rim, no good. Benson has struggled at the line all year long, shooting at 47%. Huskies 50, Blue Demons 32, 11:38 to go in the game. It's been 4 minutes since DePaul last scored a point. Second free throw on the way for NJ Benson. It is no good. Tap back goes down. C.J. Gunn came flying in.
The second time C.J. got an offensive rebound off the missed free throw earlier, missed a putback. That time he got it.
And it ends a long scoring drought for DePaul of 4 minutes. UConn 50, DePaul 34, coming up on 11 minutes remaining in the game. The Huskies haven't scored in nearly 3 minutes of action, and a foul on the far sideline by the Blue Demons as Mullins hit the deck.
It's only the 16 fouls, so they're going to have it out on the sideline. There was a second basket for the Demons here in the half, 11:18 to go in the half, and just now got their second basket of the half.
NJ Benson with his third personal, Dave. It's UConn ball, 11:15 to go in the game. Huskies 50, Blue Demons 34. Mullins has it near the midcourt stripe, off to the left. Smith, head of the key, checked by Banks. Crossover dribble, bounce pass free throw line. Ryba drives straight down the lane, lefty layup, Banks at home.
Good execution again. UConn's so good in their half-court sets.
UConn 52, DePaul 34. Under 11 minutes remaining in the game. Off to the right, behind the arc, it's Blocker for the Blue Demons. Feeds Gunn, driving right, stops, fall away, hooks with the right hand. He rattles it home.
He's been struggling. That was a tough shot. That put back on the offensive rebound there on the missed free throw. Maybe get him unstuck a little bit. 3 for 6 from the floor now. That's his 6th point.
Gunn has already doubled his scoring output from the last game against Georgetown, where he went 1 of 9 from the floor. UConn 52, DePaul 36, 10:34 remaining, second half. UConn with the basketball. Smith, the backup point man, has it off to the right in three-point territory. Uses a screen, head of the key. Jalen Stewart off to the right behind the arc. Back to Smith near the midcourt stripe. Off to the left, Mullins fakes a 3, and he's bumped by Blocker.
Blocker's second foul. 17 fouls, so Mullins will go to the free throw line here with a 1-and-1.
Yeah, it was a non-shooting foul, but you mentioned now in the bonus, UConn heads to the free throw line.
Mullins, the leading scorer in the game, along with Alex Caravan, the only 2 players in double figures. Mullins getting better game after game as a All-American, McDonald's All-American freshman. He's getting better as the season progresses.
Here's the first of a 1-and-1, goes down for Mullins. So it's now 53-36, UConn with 10:21 to go here in the second half. Mullins had 24 points in his last game at Providence. Knocks down the second free throw, give him 13 this afternoon against DePaul. Demons down by 18 on the road here at Hartford. 10:15 remaining in the game. Layden Blocker with the ball at the head of the key. Checked by Mullins. Blocker stops the dribble. Feeds Gunn off to the left. Bounce pass inside. Benson. Ball knocked away and taken away by Jaden Ross for UConn. Into the front court. Smith down the right sideline. He dribbles between the rings. Uses a screen. Spins right. Up high, Ross shakes the shoulders, working on Gunn. 15 to shoot for the Huskies. Off to the left, Caravan, head of the key now. Smith, UConn in no hurry. 10 to shoot. Smith off to the left, blitz by double team. Inside pass, Ryba, up fake, shot, goes down. Banked it home off the glass.
They got some good freshmen.
Ryba, a 7-1 freshman from Germany. Demons down by 20. Miljasevic, head of the key, off to the right. Gunn, long two on the way. Back rim doesn't go. Rebound, Mullins, and UConn on the move. Mullins across the line, off to the left. Head of the key, Caravan, deep three on the way. He missed it. Hit the back of the rim. Fight for the rebound. Demons come up with it. Blocker's got it. Blocker in the front court, down the left sideline. A diagonal spin to the middle. Hangs in the air. Shot blocked by Mullins. Foul called on UConn.
Good job being aggressive there. Layden Blocker looks like he's come out of that limping, though. Is he trying to walk that off? He's going to the free throw line with a limp.
Layden Blocker is tough of a player as the Blue Demons have, so I'm guessing he's not leaving. Blocker at the line for two.
Thinking he's getting ready to leave now as R.J. Smith comes off the bench, so.
Blocker misses the first free throw. It hit the back of the rim, no good.
R.J. Smith waiting for second free throw. He's going to come in and make sure Layden Blocker's okay. He's limping pretty badly.
One more free throw for Blocker. UConn 56, DePaul 36. 9:10 remaining here in the second half. Macklin re-enters, Gunn sits, Blocker puts up the second, he knocks it down, and now Blocker will sit, and R.J. Smith will re-enter for DePaul.
As Blocker leaves the floor, his limp is gone, so I think he's going to be fine. But
I told you.
Just getting a break.
9:10 remaining here in the second half.
Dr. Zach.
56-37. I don't diagnose. Here's Mullins into the front court. Loops a floater off the back of the rim. No good from the right side, and the Demons come up with a rebound. Smith has it for DePaul. To Macklin across the line off to the left. He's at the head of the key with a right-handed dribble. Shakes the shoulders, drives right. Scoop layup. Count the basket. And the foul.
The foul, I think they're calling goaltending. And it went in anyway.
You're right, yeah. So it would have been a goaltending violation on UConn. Didn't matter. Basket went in. So no foul called.
Brandon now with 9 points. Layden Blocker leading scorer in the Demons with 10, although he's only 2 for 10 from the field, Layden.
UConn 56, DePaul 39, 8:49 to go here in the second half. The Demons were applying full court pressure, so UConn called time. I don't think the Huskies were ready for it, and rather than turn it over, Caravan called time.
All-American Alex Caravan. He's been in a lot of situations in his career here, and he's realized his things were a little bit off kilter there, and they weren't really prepared for that full court press. Doesn't try to force the ball, takes a timeout, and go back and set up something. That's what experience does for you.
UConn 56, DePaul 39. 8:49 remaining here in the second half. Zach Zaidman, Dave Corzine, high above the court here at People's Bank Arena in Hartford. Our engineer, Tim Heldmecki, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. It can be challenging to find time to take care of your own health and wellness. With Rush Physical Therapy, access to care is throughout the city. Whether you're going to work, school, or on the way home, you can get the care you need where you need it. Visit online at rushpt.com or to find a center near you. The Blue Demons trust Rush, so can you. So UConn will do it again. Demons continue to apply full court pressure. 4 guys in the backcourt, kind of shaped like a diamond. In the near corner, it's Demery, the true point man. He's being hounded by Smith straight away as he crosses the line left to right. Now solo ball has it just to the right of the big UConn logo at center court. Blitz by a double team now. Feeds Demery off to the right. Drives inside the paint, and he's bumped by Caleb Banks. That's the 4th foul on Banks today.
They used to be important in the first half there. Caleb picked up his 3rd foul in the first half, obviously playing with 2, trying to stay in the game, keeping him on the floor. Picked up his 3rd in the first half. That was important somewhat at the time. Now with game getting a little bit out of reach. His fourth foul, probably not too critical.
A 1-and-1 opportunity for Silas Demery Jr. Here comes the first. It's good. He'll get one more. UConn 57, DePaul 39. 8:31 to go here in the second half. Banks sits. Gunn back into the ball game for the Blue Demons. Demery flirted with a triple-double in the first meeting against DePaul at Wintrust Arena. Had 13 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. Demery has 10 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds today as he knocks down the second free throw. 19-point advantage for UConn, 58-39 over DePaul. 8.5 minutes to go. R.J. Smith brings it up for the Blue Demons, right to left across the line for DePaul. Smith between the circles, uses a gun screen, spins left, drives to the hole, scoop layup. Counted and one.
Got the foul. His first. He's my pick for who needed to be hot in our new Who's Hot segment. That's his first basket, so he's got 8-19 now to get hot. See if he can put. He hasn't made a three-pointer, one of our better three-point shooters on the season that time. A lot of times you get a little layup to go in and your confidence builds. Knock on some of those threes.
Smith hits the free throw, so he completes the old-fashioned three-point play. 8:19 to go here in the second half. UConn 58, DePaul 42. Demons applying full-court pressure. Caravan feeds Mullins under the basket, and now he gives to Demery straight away, and he'll cross the line left to right. Immediately greeted in the front court by R.J. Smith. 8 minutes to go. UConn 58, DePaul 42. Demery between the circles, now guarded by Miljasevic. Off to the left ball, drives baseline, whips behind him in the paint. Mid-post read, kick out for three, and Demery knocks it down left of the circle. Just like that. UConn 61, DePaul 42. 7:40 to go. Right to left across the line comes R.J. Smith, wearing a black headband, black shoes with his alternate black DePaul uniform today. C.J. Gunn off to the right, shakes the shoulders, hop step in the paint, fall away, jump shot goes down. Silky smooth, C.J. Gunn.
8 points now for C.J. Gunn. Leighton Blocker leads the Demons with 10.
And now Demery is trapped near the midcourt stripe, but a foul has been committed by R.J. Smith. So following this official timeout, UConn will be going to the free throw line. 7:16 remaining in the second half. UConn 61, DePaul 44. Hey, Blue Demon fans, when the action heats up on the court, cool down with Pepsi Zero Sugar. It's bold, refreshing, and built for game day energy because basketball deserves Pepsi. Proud partner of DePaul Athletics. UConn on its way to winning its 12th consecutive ball game unless the Blue Demons can come up with a big-time rally here in the final 7+ minutes of this game. But DePaul struggling mightily from the field, shooting below 40%, 15 of 38, while UConn is shooting 50% from the floor.
Well, UConn has won 23 games in a row here in this arena, so this isn't the first time that they've had success here at home. But DePaul's just got to keep playing hard with 7:16 to go. This is just one game of the 20-game Big East season. The good news and the bad news is we're playing UConn. Good news is this is the second game against UConn now. We've got 14 games to go in Big East play, none of them against UConn. So let's get this one under our belts. Try to play hard. 7:16 to go, and remember the score of this game. We still got time, but even in the loss here, to play against the number 4 team in the country is a learning experience for all these guys in this Blue Demon team. They're kind of a measure of where they are. They played them a good first half in Chicago, down only 3 at halftime. They were competitive here in the first half. They allowed UConn to hit a 3 at the buzzer on a second chance opportunity that gave them a 10-point lead. But Demons were in the game, and UConn is just slowly, just methodically open this up now. It's a 17-point game, so Demons can make a run, but as so many teams in the past have been in trouble here, Demons again need to make something happen for themselves.
Yeah, DePaul was down 10 at halftime, and UConn has outscored DePaul 24-17 here in the second half. UConn is led from the start, up 61-44 over DePaul with 7:16 remaining here in half number 2. Demons will have a little bit of a break off until Friday following today's ball game when the Demons resume action home against Marquette. And the silver lining will be that you're done with UConn for the rest of the regular season. So, and you don't have to play a top 5 team anymore. I believe that's a plus for you the rest of the way. The rest of the Big East, UConn has kind of been the separator, head and shoulders above everyone else in the conference so far this season. But after that, man, it goes back and forth between all these teams.
St. John's not having the season they expected to have early. They're still going to be a factor down the stretch, though.
Silas Demery Jr. at the line. The first of a 1-and-1 is short. Ball loose under the basket and corralled by N.J. Benson of DePaul. Into the hands of Macklin across the line. He accelerates to the hole. Layup blocked from behind by Mullins. And Caravan comes up with a loose ball just to the left of the lane for UConn.
I like the idea, though. He went coast to coast with it in transition there. You got to get points on the board. You got to get to the basket.
Under 7 minutes to go. UConn 61, DePaul 44. Huskies with a basketball. Solo ball has another big UConn logo at center court. Straight away Caravan. Now at the right elbow, Demery. Kick out Mullins for 3. That's good from the left side.
Mullins now at 16. Leading all scorers.
Had 24 in his last game, and that was a career high. Demons down by 20. Left elbow jumper for R.J. Smith, and he rattles it home.
R.J. Smith got that put back there earlier. See if he can get himself going.
UConn 64, DePaul 46. 6:19 remaining here in the second half. Silas Demery Jr. has it between the circles for the Huskies. 15 to shoot. Caravan at the free throw line. Right corner. Ball puts it on the floor. Behind him, Mullins fakes a right side 3. Up high, it's Ball. Behind the back with the dribble. Checked by Smith. He backs it out. Under 10 to shoot for UConn. Demery now has it between the rings. Driving right. 3 to shoot. And he traveled. Fell to the deck to the right of the lane. He wasn't touched. A traveling violation has been called on UConn.
Another turnover again. Game's not over. Down 18 against the number 4 team in the country on the road. It looks like things aren't going well for us, but 5:58 to go. Let's play them.
Blocker and Flores back in there for the Blue Demons, and Blocker will bring it up against light full court pressure from Silas Demery Jr. UConn 64, DePaul 46, 5:50 to go in the game. Blocker at the head of the key, has the ball knocked away, picks it up at the free throw line, hop step in the paint, kick out, and the ball is taken away by Mullins. Lead feed ball, one-on-one with Miljasevic, Euro step to the right, and his layup is good.
Even Blocker there slipped. Ball boys out there trying to dry off the court.
Full court pressure by UConn. They steal the inbounds pass. Demery has it off to the left. Feeds Mullins now between the rings. 5:20 to go. Huskies up by 20 over the Demons. 66-46. Near the midcourt stripe straight away. It's Demery. Checked by Pierre Justin. Screen from Mullins. Demery drives left. Gives to Reed. 3-point range to the left. He backs in Florens. Mullins has it. Now to Caravan for 3, and it's good from the left corner. UConn 69, DePaul 46. Under 5 minutes to go. Crowd making a lot of noise here at the People's Bank Arena in Hartford. Off to the right, Miljasevic for the Blue Demons. Stops the dribble. Gives to Gunn, head of the circle with 15 to shoot. Gunn crossover dribble, drives right, on ball, up fake, double team comes. Wild shot, count the basket and the foul. C.J. Gunn spun out of a double team, had an exaggerated up fake, and then flipped the ball up with his right hand. It hit the front of the rim, used a little bit of English, and spun in. So the basket counts, and now Gunn at the free throw line to try and complete a 3-point play for the Blue Demons.
He hasn't really been shooting the ball well tonight or the last game against Georgetown, but he's being effective down low. He got some offensive rebounds. Again, there a chance down low to cause contact.
Gunn nails the free throw, give him 11 points. Back to a 20-point ball game. UConn 69, DePaul 49, 4.5 minutes remaining. Huskies ball, Demery between the circles, checked by Blocker, feeds Reed left of the circle, and now Malachi Smith has it between the rings. 15 to shoot for UConn, off to the right ball, working on Gunn, puts it on the floor, lost the dribble, picks it up and gives to Smith near the midcourt stripe straight away. 5 to shoot for UConn, Smith drives right behind him, Reed, floater the right hand, rolls in.
Coming easier now for UConn. They're playing with confidence as this lead grows.
UConn 71, DePaul 49, under 4 minutes remaining in the game. Layden Blocker head of the circle. Gives to Gunn between the rings. He drives right. Double teamed right of the lane, and they call a hell ball as Demery was able to get his hand in there. As Gunn tried to spin away, the possession arrow is pointing UConn's way, so it'll be Husky ball after this official timeout. All UConn today, 3:48 remaining. Huskies 71, Blue Demons 49. Blue Demons choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of DePaul Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Please celebrate responsibly. So a rough afternoon here on the road against 4th-ranked UConn. Huskies leading the Blue Demons 71-49 with under 4 minutes remaining. Blue Demons lose. Freshman guard Cruz McClure fell to the deck in a collision with, I believe, Demery, right? Earlier in the ball game along the near sideline. And he had just come back from a concussion, but will not return today. So we hope he's okay going forward as the Blue Demons have a few days off before resuming, almost a week off before resuming play next Friday night at Wintrust Arena against Marquette.
Yeah, well, they're going to need the time to rest up and work on that offense. That's been the problem. 56 points in a victory against Georgetown based on just a remarkable defensive performance. We talked about holding Georgetown to 1 field goal in the second half, tying a record that was set in 1986 in Division I basketball to hold the team to 1 field goal in a half of the game. So that's what the Demons needed to do. You talk about how great they did defensively. They needed to do that to win that game with only scoring 56. Here they're in the same type of position, 3:48 to go. They're not going to hold the UConn Huskies to 50 points. 49 points now for the Demons with 3:48 to go. They're going to have to find a way to put more points on the board.
UConn will win its 22nd consecutive game against DePaul. Huskies lead the all-time series 22-1 at the moment. The first meeting between the two took place in the 2004 NCAA tournament in Buffalo, a 72-55 UConn win. It's the last time the Demons played in the tournament. DePaul's only win in the series came in 2007 in Rosemont, 68-58. Draylon Burns had 26. You know, we were talking about the big game tonight at Soldier Field along the lakefront. Bears-Packers.
The Packer game?
Yeah. Well, I did not know you were a Packer fan growing up, but to be fair, as much as I've been impressed with what the Bears have been able to do this year, I think Green Bay is going to win this game.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, Jordan Love is healthy. I think the Packers are as healthy as they've been in a long time. And I just think the Bears' defense has had too many issues.
I feel better already.
Once they take the ball away, I don't see them stopping Green Bay's offense. UConn ball out of the timeout. They got to go the full length of the floor against full court DePaul pressure. UConn plays catch in the backcourt along the far sideline. Demery. He centers it and now crosses the line off to the left. Plays catch in the front court with Smith straight away. 3.5 minutes to go. UConn 71, DePaul 49. Demery has it off to the left with 10 to shoot. Checked by Gunn. Swiping at the ball. Off a curl, right of the circle. It's ball. Looks at the shot clock. Drives right. Shot blocked by Flores. Demons come up with a loose ball. Here's Blocker across the line, right to left. Down the left sideline with a right-handed dribble. Blocker's now at the head of the key. Uses a Gunn screen, spins right of the circle, up high Gunn, holds the ball by his right hip, shakes the shoulders, puts it on the floor. He's at the free throw line. Up fake, kick out. Blocker has it. Head of the key. 10 to shoot. Drives to the free throw line. The pull-up jump is good. Layden Blocker knocks it down. Demons down by 20 with under 3 minutes to go on the road at number 4 UConn here in Hartford.
12 points now for Layden Blocker, leading scorer for the Demons. He's in double figures with C.J. Gunn with 11.
Malachi Smith has it straight away. Checked by R.J. Smith. Now a switch. Gunn's guarding him. Off to the right. Smith inside Ryba. He's tied up as R.J. Smith was able to get his hands in there. Ryba put the ball on the deck. You don't want to do that as a big man, right?
Yeah, he had a little bit out towards the free throw line on the lane there. He made a nice. He's been getting in towards the lane there pretty effectively, so did a nice job there. Just a great play to tie that ball up as R.J. Smith against the big guy. Ryba almost took R.J. Smith up with him when he went for the layup, but got the jump ball. Ball goes back to the Demons.
So Layden Blocker will trigger in, feeds Macklin under the basket. Light pressure by UConn, and now the Huskies drop back. Jacob Furphy, a 6'6 freshman from Tasmania, in there. And Brandon Macklin drove to the hole, hung in the air, and had the ball
and threw the ball out of bounds.
Or was it blocked, or did he just throw it out of bounds?
It wasn't blocked. The Demons would get the ball back. He just lost control of it as he went up there.
Just the mere thought of running into Eric Ryba scared him. All right, so turnover Demons. It'll be UConn basketball. Furphy will bring it up. Light pressure by Macklin. And Macklin knocks it away. Ball loose at the top of the key. Macklin grabs it and puts it in the hands of C.J. Gunn straight away. Off to the left blocker, drives baseline, up fake, layup. He went right at Ryba and banked it home.
Give Brandon Macklin the credit. That's the kind of plays he makes. Coming up with that steal led to the bucket.
All right, now Stewart brings it up across the line for UConn. Down the left sideline, 1:52 to go. UConn 71, DePaul 53. So Furphy's in there from Tasmania. I will give you $100 right now. A bounce pass inside Rybo.
Nicely done.
He misses the left hand, no good. If you can tell me before the end of this game, where is Tasmania? Lead feed, Flores, beautiful. And he jams it in, flying in for the right baseline off the excellent pass from Brandon Macklin. He crossed the midcourt stripe, launched it in the air, and Flores came flying in, caught it with both hands, and stuffed it in. Demons on a 6-0 run. UConn 71, DePaul 55, a minute and a half remaining. Timeout, DePaul. Yeah, so where is Tasmania? Do you know?
I've been thinking about it, and it turns out I don't have a clue where Tasmania is.
So it's an island state, Dave, about 150 miles south of the Australian mainland.
Is it really?
Yeah.
South of Australia? Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold there in Tasmania there, I guess.
I think their seasons are opposite ours. So, like right now, for example, we're in the heart of winter.
We'd rather be in Tasmania right now, you figure, for better weather?
Well, remember, they hold the Australian Open during this time of the year because it's summertime in Australia, and I imagine being only 150 miles south
of Australia. You're getting pretty far down towards the South Pole there.
So the
Tasmanian Devil is the only thing I know about Tasmania.
Yeah, if you can tell me what a Tasmanian Devil is, I'll give you another $100, but I don't think you can.
Tasmanian Devil.
It's a certain animal.
I could have told you that. You're already taking everything I know about a Tasmanian Devil. You already put out there. It's some sort of animal.
So, yeah, I think it.
What is it, Zach? Tell us all.
I don't know. I think
you don't know.
It looks like a ferret, but I know it's not a ferret. We'll have
a devil.
We'll have. It's not a devil. There's no such thing as a real devil other than a hockey team in New Jersey.
Have you been to Tasmania?
I've not been.
How do you know what's going on down there?
It's a great point, Dave. It's UConn ball out of the timeout. The Huskies have to go the full end of the floor. 90 seconds remaining here in this ball game. Huskies 71, Blue Demons 55. Across the line, Demery straight away. Now spins to the left. What kind of defense are the Demons playing here? Half court.
1-3-1 zone. Why not?
Off to the right, Reed with 10 to shoot. He's in three-point territory. Reed now has it. Right out of the lane, whirls inside the paint. Turnaround hook with the left hand. Too strong off the glass, and the rebound taken down by Macklin races into the front court, stops at the three-point line marker off to the right. Under a minute remaining in the game. Macklin waiting for a cutter. No one's coming to the ball, and now he whips a pass inside. And a foul has been called on UConn.
Solo ball picks up that foul. That was crazy. Demons had nowhere to go with it. It's a 19 foul, so I think Macklin's going to be shooting a 1-and-1.
So, by the way, the Tasmanian devil is a carnivorous marsupial, which is about
marsupial?
The size.
Does that mean it's got a pouch? What do you know about marsupials? A pouch? There you go.
I mean,
see, I know something. A pouch on a marsupial.
Look at you.
A kangaroo.
You could, yes.
A mini kangaroo.
Sort of, but different, yeah. Here's the free throw by Macklin. It's no good. He will not get an opportunity at a second. And do we have a foul on the rebound attempt? Yeah, we do. It's on DePaul.
Referees need to put those whistles away. Here we got less than a minute to go. I don't think these calls are going to be critical to the outcome.
Well, the officials have a job to do.
Yeah.
They're not worried about your convenience,
What
Dave.
time I get home?
UConn 71, DePaul 55, 53.3 seconds to go. And Alex Caravan at the line to shoot two. The first is short for Caravan. DePaul on a 6-0 run. UConn hasn't scored a point in 3+ minutes. And now wholesale substitutions for UConn, including Glenwood's Alec Millender, who began his career at Wayne State, then played at IU Indianapolis.
UConn's into the bench guys get a significant amount of minutes with them having big leads at the end of the game all the time. Some of these guys, other teams, they never get a chance to play.
Caravan hit the second free throw, Dave, and it's 72-55 UConn. 47 seconds remaining. Blocker drives, kick out. Macklin for three. Drills it from the left corner.
All right. 58 points now for the Demons. That breaks the 56 they had in that win over Georgetown, but they need to do better than that.
40 seconds remaining in the game. UConn 72, as Dave mentioned. DePaul with 58. Malachi Smith across the line on the big Husky logo at center court. Off to the right, Millender. They work it around the perimeter. Smith has it left of the circle for UConn. Dribbles between the rings. 10 to shoot for the Huskies. Smith between the legs with the dribble. Uses a Ribas screen. Behind him, Jaden Ross for three. And that's no good. Long rebound at the blocker. Shot clock off. 11 seconds remaining in the game. Blocker hesitation dribble. Top of the key. Pull up. Jump for the free throw line is good. 6 seconds to go. UConn 72, DePaul 60. Ross triggers in. Feeds Stewart under the basket. And that'll do it. The Blue Demons winning streak ends at 2 as UConn continues to roll. The fourth-ranked Huskies beat the Blue Demons 72-60. UConn has now won 12 straight games overall. And in the all-time series with the Blue Demons, DePaul has dropped now 22 consecutive games to UConn.
Yeah, obviously the outcome, not what we would have liked to have, but a 12-point game on the road against the number 4 team in the country. I think, if anything, if you're going to talk to Coach Holtzman after the game, that going to continue to grow. They learned a lot today. Things will get easier for me. And the good news is we don't play this UConn team again until maybe in the Big East tournament.
And that would be a nice problem to have. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast of DePaul basketball, and would like to thank our corporate partners, Rush Physical Therapy, official physical therapy partner of DePaul Athletics, and Wintrust, Chicago's bank. This broadcast has been authorized under rights granted by DePaul University. The accounts and descriptions of this broadcast may not be retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the DePaul Athletic Department. The executive producer of DePaul basketball is Executive Associate Athletics Director Peter Tombosco. And we thank our on-site engineer Tim Helmecki for his fine work. For Dave Corzine, I'm Zach Zaidman, reminding you the next DePaul broadcast will be on Friday night, January 16th at 7:30 in the evening when the Blue Demons host Marquette. Coverage begins at 7:15 in the evening, and the broadcast can be heard on Sirius XM and DePaulBlueDemons.com. Once again, the final score from Hartford, 4th-ranked UConn 72, DePaul 60. The Blue Demons fall to 10-7, 2-4 in Big East play. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a good weekend.